This is the Life Never Ends podcast, where we put it out there so it lives forever. Welcome to the Life Never Ends podcast, where we put it out there so it lives forever. This episode, I'm interviewing Luis Rosales, a longtime friend of mine, about his YouTube channel and just life in general. If this is your first time on this channel, please like and subscribe, as we will continue to talk about different topics weekly, and also we'll have a lot more interviews coming up. If you like this content, check out my other podcasts under the Life Never Ends podcast network. All podcasts are available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening. So, Luis, what's up, man?
What's up, bro? It's been a minute for sure.
Yeah, we definitely got some catching up to do. You had some big news come out yesterday.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be a dad. Finally, I mean, we've been kind of holding off just to, timing and just kind of trying to live life before we make that big step. So, yeah, but I'm excited. Little girl, so.
Oh, that's what it is? I didn't
Little girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah. One day I'm gonna have one.
Yeah. Won't be long, probably.
No, we holding off. We're holding off because I mean, gotta get married, buy a house, all
Yeah.
that. So we trying to take our time with that. Man, getting comfortable in front of a camera. How did you do that?
Man.
Starting your YouTube channel, because I'm trying to get comfortable being in front of the camera, and it's taking a little while for me.
I guess, man, you gotta get to a point where you're like, I don't know, just not caring really. It's like people gonna judge you no matter what. So like to me, it's like if I mess up, if not, like just being ourselves. I guess I gotta kind of just stepped out because it was years though, man. It had been years that people been like on me about filming and man, how y'all go about that? Like I'd kill a deer. They're like, man, how it went. So I'd explain it, but they wanted something more visual,
Right. Yeah. So talk about them steps, getting those nerves out, and actually putting out your first videos and whatnot.
Yeah, man, it was a learning curve for sure. At first, I was more like, okay, so from between the software, I mean, you doing it yourself too now. So like between the software, the the amount of stuff you had to learn, it almost looked impossible. So at first, I'm like, man, this is just like you look at the picture and you're like, man, this is gonna be hard to figure out. There's a lot to learn, and it's
people don't realize the time and effort it goes into all this crap.
Oh no, man, you gotta be.
But once you get it though, I mean, it's good to go. Once you do that first one, I mean, you kind of just learn as you go, man.
Yeah, bro, it's definitely stepping out. But like you said, it's once you get that first one out, man, it comes out, and you got a lot to learn. Like this coming year, I invested in some different mics, so when we're whispering in the stand,
you can hear it a little better.
Some tripod, some different stuff, equipment to where you can give better quality, and like I'm about to buy actually another camcorder, um, which is just produces more frames per second. So at that point, like say I shoot a deer, I can actually slow mo it a lot better to where you can actually see the arrow and everything.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's pricey, but
it's gonna make the videos so much better.
The quality.
Well, that's my plan with this. Like the next thing I want to do is, I mean, got this recording off of my computer, but I would like a camera set up here, record and whatnot. So that's my next investment. Is gonna be a camera. I tried playing it off the Cheyenne. I said, don't you like taking pictures and whatnot?
Yeah,
like I was gonna buy her a camera, but it'd be mine.
Try to kind of play it around. But yeah, for sure, man. Like whoever you're with gotta understand. Like it's an investment. Like it really is. Like I spent between the last month, I spent a G on a hunt gear, in other words. But I'm so simple that I don't buy clothes. I don't buy nothing. So it's like
that's the only thing you buy. So it's not bad at the end of the day.
It's kind of understanding. And if it is one day a source of income, that's also a benefit.
Which it possibly could be one day. Because I mean, I don't know if you looked into it, but like once you get 1,000 subscribers and so many views, you can start getting a check from YouTube and stuff. You just gotta have 1,000 subscribers. So if you're listening to this, go to the public Land Mafia and subscribe to Luis's channel.
Y'all check us out. Me and my brother, we plan on definitely, putting a few more guys in there as far as to get more content. So eventually we will grow. But right now that's why was thinking about it like Mafia, have like a group, it not
Yeah.
just being me and my brother, but eventually find a few, other hunters
Well,
to jump
especially
in.
since you have the gear to do it now, you can branch out and do that. Like me and Trent was talking about with the podcast the other day. Like I'm doing a running podcast. Why don't you do something? Since I have the equipment, you do a podcast about something that you're more interested in. And he's interested in all these different like Marvel movies and stuff like that. I was like, people are interested in that. I just don't know anything about that. I don't watch TV to know.
Yeah.
So hey, go and freaking do something.
Yeah, man, it's just stepping out. Like a lot of people, like we were talking
Scared.
earlier,
Yeah.
scared to fail, and it's like at the end of the day, man. Let's be real. Like,
We only got so
man,
much time on this earth.
yeah, we're gonna die one day, and doing this is awesome, especially when you have a passion for it. Like running, man. Me and you, we used to run a lot, so we
Yeah.
know that running a few miles, a day sometimes. I know for boxing we'd run 6 miles a day. Sometimes I'd get off of school, go to the gym, work out, and then run a few miles. So it was just always a lifestyle, but you have to have a passion for it. Like that's how I feel about hunting. Like we love it. The film adds that extra, makes it that much harder. Like I recently killed a nice buck, and I didn't get the shot on film because of how fast it happened. So a lot of people are like, man, you got. And I'm like, no, man, that was just happened so fast, And but the experience to share the actual story of how it went about, and that was awesome alone. So
Yeah. Were you expecting the amount of views that you got on it?
no,
Because I mean,
man.
that one that you talking about, that video, you got
Yeah.
10,000 views on it,
Well,
which
no, man, I didn't expect it. I mean, don't get me wrong, like to kill a buck like that in Louisiana with a bow
on
on
public
public land
land.
is just it's not heard about often. You know what I'm saying? Just the size of the deer. I think the state record is like 200 something. I mean, just a massive deer. But before that, there's really not many deer touching that. But I was up there. You know what I'm saying? So like to people, they're like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
that's a
it's
major
just
kill.
yeah. And I didn't expect them that big, which to me is really the number. I'm not searching like a lot of people are like, man, it's gonna be hard to top that. I'm like, man, I ain't chasing numbers.
Yeah.
Like to me,
You just trying to kill a beautiful
yeah,
animal.
I'm having fun, man. Like I'm not in no competition with nobody. I'm just having fun and being me.
Yeah, I think what really sets it off too is that the picture that you have as the cover
Oh,
on the
really?
YouTube channel, like that just pops out and makes people want to click on that.
Correct. And I think, man, that's another thing that like you say, we really have to educate ourselves as far as what catches people's attention, and it's because you can. I mean, obviously, I didn't fake any of the scores of the size of the deer or anything. I didn't like Photoshop nothing. Everything was raw, but I just edited to where, which actually my wife actually edited, but to give that contrast to where it pop out. So it's you're not photoshopping nothing. The
Yeah,
size of the deer is
you're
what you
just
see.
editing the
Yeah,
picture
just to make it look
more appealing to
appealing.
people.
Correct. And that's another thing I had to educate myself with on YouTube. What catches people's attentions. Sometimes looking at other people's content and saying, man, these guys are doing really good and this is what they're doing, and or whatever, and some not necessarily similar, but take what people are doing and kind of go off of that
Yeah,
sometimes too helps.
I mean, you got to learn from other people that are where you want to be.
Correct.
You can't just go in blind without a plan.
Correct.
You
And
gotta,
and simple sometimes, because I'm really simple. So to me, I'm not creative, but my brother's more creative. My wife's more creative, so she's been helping me on the thumbnails, which that's what it is. It's a
yeah, yeah,
thumbnail, and the thumbnail most of the time, like people use it. They call it clickbait. I want to say, so they'll in that case they're lying or just making something up just so you click on it and watch it to get views. Me, I'm not trying to do that. I'm
Mm,
whatever I give you is what I'm trying to
but if
give
you're
you.
gonna do it, you might as well get as much as you can get out of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
then once the
some people do it. To me, I don't know. I don't think I have that type of
you too raw.
yeah. Like I'm not gonna give you something that I just feel like it's not gonna you know because if you look at it and I didn't give you what you wanted at that point, you're probably not gonna come back to me and watch.
You're not gonna even subscribe. You're just gonna
Correct. Yeah.
click
Oh,
on to the next
this
one.
dude lied. I'm out.
So yeah, I mean, any other stuff y'all have planned for the channel?
Oh man, we the podcast for sure. I think that's one thing me and my brother want to do.
Start a hunting podcast.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be cool.
just man because it's so deep. Hunting people see it all. You go out there, you kill an animal, and that's just so like really shallow minded. Because one, we don't hunt over bait, so everything we're hunting is raw nature. So you can't put corn out there. You can't put nothing on public land to like lure these
You're
animals.
actually hunting.
Correct. So this is like the old, like the Indians and all the
Yeah.
like people back in the gap used to do like figure out these animals, find their trails, find where they're feeding, find their bedding, find what stage you're in or you're rutting. It's just so deep that even on a video, I mean, you need all day to explain what's going
Yeah.
on and why I'm set up here, why the wind, why is this tree better than this tree, what the wind is doing, what the thermals are doing. So it's so deep that I think, me and my brother will eventually start just a podcast just to talk about, okay, Eddie, why you set up on this tree and what was the outcome? What did you learn? Where did we mess up at? Like, I mean, because we're transparent too. We messed up. Man, I missed a doe at 34 yards opening day. So to me, it was like, which I put it in there. I put the shot in, but we messed up too. So it's like I don't want to just paint this picture that I'm always having
Yeah, that you
success.
just it's perfect hunter. It's
No,
not like that.
no, bro. I'm far from it. And even Eddie, man, the dude's a killer. Like that dude's killed some deer. And if I could describe him, would be a killer and stealthy. He's so stealthy. Like me, I'm so
When did you get into hunting like this? Because whenever we was hanging out
yeah. No,
younger, I don't
we
remember
would
you
no
having
no man.
this
Back
side
then we
of you.
were well since we were little, man. It's been a thing since we live on Hope Farm Road. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Yeah, I know where Hope Farm is.
Well
I didn't even
when
know you lived on Hope Farm.
yeah on Jones Court. Well, growing up, I lived on Jones Court, and it's so crazy that you don't know this, but we were so close back then.
Yeah.
But that's what another thing I was like, man, like you really when you're young, you never share your struggles with people. You just go about. I guess because we're guys, we don't talk
We
about
don't
our
express
struggles.
we
You know what I'm
don't
saying? We're not
express
like
that at
women. We don't
all.
like, oh man, I'm going through this, bro. Like, and
We
talk
we
about it.
would hang out when we were younger and it was have a good time.
Yeah, get drunk, get faded, smoke weed. We go, just do all kind of
Yeah,
crazy
we
stuff.
was always getting into something.
Yeah, getting cops called on, egging cars.
But yeah, because I was thinking about this the other day. Because like whenever we was hanging out when we was younger, like, did you have a religious side to you back then that you just didn't show to us, or did that come later in life?
Bro. I never, man. I, the biggest thing I guess in my life was always they had a little picture of the Pope in on top of my fridge. That meant nothing, absolutely nothing to me. So, nah, I would never say I had a religious. I always, I guess, growing up, I did go through a lot of struggles, personal stuff that I never shared. But I always felt like, man, like if there is a God, I hope He keeps me in mind, type of
Right.
deal. But I never. I mean, I remember Marcus told me that not too long ago. Another buddy of mine, and he said, "Man, I remember we'd go to places and people would try to preach to you, and you would be like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like, just straight,
You were the hardest
yeah,
motherfucker that
like
we hung
straight,
out
like
with.
raw with them. Like, nah, dog, like get out of, like, nah, I ain't even trying to hear all that. And to me, now I'm out here, trying to share Jesus with people, and I'm like, even though I'm not perfect, a lot
Yeah.
of people think, oh man, he goes to church. Nah, bro, like, I almost pistol whipped the old man, like at a camp one. You know what I'm saying? So like, they gotta see, that we're transparent and that we do get mad, just like Jesus, he threw tables, he did, he got mad. So you gotta understand, like, we're human. We live in this corrupt, evil world. So like you can't expect this perfect, holy no man. Like we're not
That's not it.
no, like especially how, some of us grew up. Like, man, my dad was a complete opposite. Like my dad, so what he was teaching me when I was young was not nothing godly. So I mean, you can't expect. So now, like when people are like, "Oh man, he's going to church," and nah, bro, I'm not perfect, man. I
No.
struggle. Like I told you, almost probably a year and a half ago, I almost pistol whipped an old man because he was acting crazy. And
And you was probably in just one of those moods
Yeah, and
where
you
it
just in
wa
a bad
the
mood, man.
timing wasn't right.
Correct, bro. And it was never and we're human. So like when people expect this perfect person, man, I'm transparent, bro. I'm far from perfect. I still struggle,
Same here.
and but I do feel like I'm not gonna use that as a crutch to say, oh, I'm not trying to be a better man. Cause I am, at the end of the day, like I am seeking God, but I gotta, cause
You got shit that you can lose now.
yeah, yeah, you know
So
what I'm
you
saying? Like
gotta
you can't just
you have
flash
to
and yeah, you can't just flash and do dumb stuff and not expect like consequences. Maybe when we were younger we could get away with
yeah,
it and but nowadays you
it's just been a whole mind rewiring almost for you
correct.
from whenever we was younger
Yeah.
to the man that you are now, the man
Yeah.
that we both are
Yeah.
now. I mean,
I
just
remember having to pull you off of that one dude,
at
man,
the
that
gas station
at the
right down
gas
the road,
station. Yeah, man. I was like,
literally a
I don't
mile
even
down the road.
I don't even know what happened. Well, we were just running, huh?
We was running, training for cross country, and I was mad about something in my feelings, and that old dude was looking at us.
Oh, okay. Which I actually knew him, so
Yeah.
it was pretty awkward because like when y'all would, I was like, man, that's oh boy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I was like,
I
oh
don't even
man,
know his name.
yeah, I know
We
him.
have to You have to
Yeah,
tell me after the
I'll tell you after
podcast.
that. But yeah, man, like just and that's my thing though. Like a lot of times, days like that, we're in our feelings. We going through so much. We so faded half the time that we're either like working at that point we're working out, so like our minds are kind of at ease or and I feel like man that's not what's up. If you got a friend, man, you should be like, hey bro, I'm struggling, I'm going through this in my family and it helps to cope with the issue or I might have been dealing with the same thing
That's a
and
lot of, like we were saying earlier, men don't talk about their feelings. I
no,
can't. My old lady got to pry my feelings out of me.
yeah,
Like I just trying to be a man. I don't want to show any type of weakness
yeah.
at all.
But at the end of the day, bro, I feel like man, that just opens up because when I first found God, honestly, I put a lot of stuff on the shelf and I buried a lot of stuff that I had done. Like after I graduated for a few years, I was just wild and doing all kind of chaotic stuff, like just reckless, like no type of like
Not
if I
thinking
get
of
caught up, like man, it's over for me. Like, but what I did, I found, after that, I found God. But even those things, I buried them, but I never dealt with them. So to me, I can have stuff that I just bury but never deal with and never have that I don't know, like that closure. And just one day they come back out. And that's like
yeah,
recently that kind of happened to me because I was, it's like I gave it to God, but at the same time, I never really gave it
you
to
never
him.
you
I
never
just
really
kind of
dealt with it deep down
correct.
inside.
Yeah.
Just talking about it and letting it out to somebody. I mean, you have a wife now,
Yeah.
and I imagine y'all have that.
Yeah. I mean, for
And
the
that's something that you always gonna be working on, to just that communication. Me and Cheyenne are
correct.
always talking about communication because, like I said, I don't talk.
Yeah.
So she gotta pry shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
it's
this,
gonna be a freaking continuous fight until I'm dead. Of That's just the way I
yeah.
am built as a human being.
And I think we're a lot of men in general like program themselves to be like that. They program themselves to like in order for me to be a man, I can't speak on certain things or show my emotions. And
I have to be hard.
yeah, and the truth is, man, I know plenty of dudes, bro, that these dudes have no fear towards nothing, but are open to share stuff with you. And that's to me, that's a man because he's he's open to he puts himself in a position where he's vulnerable to show to show you that like man like I'm going through this and I'm vulnerable telling you this but that's a man to me not somebody that's just gonna which I mean I struggle with it. I ain't gonna lie like I don't tell I, I haven't told my wife a lot of things I've done in my past and I can't because she didn't grow up like I grew up
Yeah.
so like for me to tell her she would look at me completely different and I mean some things are just she don't need to know and that's why I've asked her I said if you really want to know and she's like, nah, I'd rather not. So, certain things I just don't even bring
Move
up.
on with it.
Yeah, what I'm saying? Like,
Just
I'm
move.
cool, like, but I think that's big, man. Like, I think it's big. Communication is key because even us, I mean, we're working on it. We're doing. I mean, we've got a lot better since the beginning. Because I think when you first get with somebody, you just kind of so focused on that person and in y'all a relationship, like the level, like lovey dovey stuff, and not so much the like
That'll
who
get
you really are. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that'll
saying?
get you by until
Yeah,
a certain point. For me, after a few years, it's
yeah,
like, all right, who the fuck is this
yeah.
person for
Who
real?
is this person? And you know, and that's how it was with us. You know, like
How long have y'all been together?
man, we've been together probably total like when we started dating, probably like 4 years, almost five. We had split up for a little while, and then we got back together. And but what happened was when I went to HL, I had bumped into in the hallway. Well, she bumped into me, and it was never none, you know. And then Marcus, my other buddy, you know,
Introduced y'all.
yeah, he kind of introduced us at some game. We were drunk. I mean, we were drunk at a football game or something. And so I kind of just like, he's like, oh man, this is Cherish. And so I looked at her and I just kind of like didn't pay her no mind. So to her, she was like, "Oh, he wasn't interested. I'm just drunk. You know, she
Yeah.
don't even know. Like I'm just faded. Like, and so at that point, she I don't know and then one day I had a big party and I messaged, "Hey, you coming or
We
whatever?"
had used to have a lot of big parties
Oh
at your
boy,
house.
man, we used to cut up, man. We used to do some man. I tell Marcus said that one day. He said, man, we used to live like people dream they could live. We were doing some crazy stuff. I don't even speak on that, but um, so I invited her to the party, and she didn't party. You know, she was always in church. She was, you know,
The
being
same way
very
she is now.
yeah. And to me, back then, when I told Marcus, I said, "Man, I'm gonna marry that girl." I tell him straight up. I said, "Man, I'm gonna marry that girl." He's like, "Come on, bro." He
Talk that
said,
shit
"You,
into
yeah."
existence.
And he's like, "Nah, bro. She's a good girl." She's like, "You're like the complete opposite." At this point, I was, you know. And I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna marry her." And so it was crazy, you know, because eventually, like, you know, I mean, at that point, she didn't really pay me no mind because she knew she had heard enough, I guess.
Yeah.
But which I didn't. I mean, I was raw, so like people ask me, man, I'll tell you, you ain't gotta. If you heard some, if and no wrong, some people
Tell you
lie.
straight up.
Yeah, but if I did it, I did it. Like I don't. I mean, it is what it is. You know? But yeah, I mean, but the communication is like the biggest thing I think in a marriage and in anything really, man. Even a friendship, you don't have that communication and like you don't really
It's
know how
like
that person
there's
feels.
like just a wall.
Yeah,
You got to break through that, get through them feelings, and just talk about it.
yeah,
Like
and that's why you know I respect what you do because you know with the music you're able to say stuff that you might not be able to speak on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like people don't get that. Like a lot of rappers and a lot of people, you know, express their feelings towards that. And because that's the only way they know how, you know what I'm saying? Like
I
you know,
can't talk about it.
yeah, you
That's
know what
a,
I'm saying?
but it's weird because like even with this podcast, I don't get into me all that much.
Yeah.
Like that's why I bring on you and I bring on these other people because I don't want to get into them.
Yeah.
I don't ever sit here and like break down how I feel.
But you need to though.
Yeah,
Eventually I think
eventually
yeah.
that was the goal with this. Eventually, it's gonna come out to where I am talking about me,
Yeah.
like just having these conversations like this.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna eventually get down deep in
Yeah.
the inside of that and let the shit out.
The
But for now, if you want to know more about me, listen into the music.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And
It's in there
that's for sure like
because there's a lot of pain and struggle in it, and
uh,
it's just hard to like. I can't even talk to my parents about it
uh,
almost because it's just that deep rooted of just things that's happened to me and just scarred me for life, and it's just
and I think a lot of people have that like my walk with God, you know, it's honestly like since I got close to God, my life changed completely. The way I think, the way I see things. But even there, bro, it don't end. You know, people think, oh, you walk, you know, you know, you get with God and you really give surrender your life to Him, that it's gonna be this walk in the park. And the truth is, no. If anything's to be worse, honestly. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, bro, you come a God, you know the enemy, and He knows you for Him now. So like,
yeah, once you surrender yourself to him,
Oh, bro, it's rough.
and then it's like everything you overthinking everything that you do almost.
And that's my biggest thing. I think with the church sometimes, man, we get so caught up on being perfect and we condemn ourselves.
Yeah.
So like, I personally, I mean, I never like curse 24/7, but like some people they'll curse and they're condemning themselves and like, man, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
or like,
not gonna be overnight that you just quit
yeah,
that.
like, or even with lust, man, or even with, like whatever you struggle with, it's a process. Like anger, man, that was my biggest thing between anger, lust, and certain things I did is a process. You know what I'm saying? So like don't be so hard and don't condemn yourself. Oh man, I'm going to hell because no, it's not like that. No, I mean, biblically, he's molding us to be what we need to be. And I think, and see, like a lot of people viewing and listening, I feel like at one point want to know you. You know what I'm saying? One is your podcast,
Yeah,
but they want to know like because they might battle with the same stuff.
yeah, they do. Uh, They they do. That's why they listening most of
Right.
the time. Because I mean, should be listening to this to try and get something out of it, out of these conversations that we're having. I mean, we're going through the same walk that everybody else is going through in life, and we're trying to grow as people. We're trying to grow what we got going on the backside. That's why I'm bringing you on to try and help grow that,
Yeah.
just to have these good ass conversations, catch up. I mean, we ain't talked in
Yeah, it's been a
it's
minute.
been a minute,
We talked, but it wasn't like it was quick.
right?
Never like.
Sat down and
Yeah.
caught up.
Yeah, I remember those days though, man. It was cool. We used to. I remember that one night.
I could about imagine.
We were egging some cars,
Oh my
and cops
god,
showed up, and we're like, "Oh, here we go."
we ran.
And then
We
that
did that.
one,
Yeah.
that one night, that Neil lit himself on fire
What
at the
happened to
camp.
Neil?
Neil, he's been working, man. He's been good. He's
Still alive? That's
yeah,
good.
he's still alive, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
matters.
yeah, I mean, he kind of just for a while. I mean, I hadn't heard from him, but I mean, just because he, moving around, and
Yeah,
at one point he had moved to Mississippi. So I mean, you just like anybody, if you don't talk to them, and
yeah. I
just
mean, you get out of high school, you kind of just everybody goes this. It don't
uh,
happen right away, but
then
the more years, I mean, you're gonna
yeah.
slowly get away from everybody, pretty much. You still doing boxing?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as competing right now, no, man.
Just training to stay in shape,
Yeah,
basically.
and that's my thing. Like right now, with between work and the hunting stuff, bro, I haven't been able to make the
You ain't
gym.
got time.
Yeah, so like for work, I'll wake up at 4:30, be at work for 5 most of the time. Work till 5, get off. You know what I'm saying? You go to
Yeah,
the gym, or like lately it was more of like the hunting. So work all week, take care of the house stuff, grocery shopping, family, whatever. So
and now you about to have a kid, so it's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
even
In
crazier.
September, so I'm excited, but it's just a time thing with
Yeah,
boxing
you just gotta learn
because
how to balance everything out.
yeah,
Cheyenne was telling me earlier. She said, you don't stop." Like because I'm all I keep myself together so much better when I'm busy.
correct.
Like if I ain't got nothing going on, like no telling what I'm gonna be
Yeah.
doing. That's something that I shouldn't be doing.
And that's probably see that's another thing though, like because I do the same thing, bro. Like I'm constantly doing something, and my wife knows that. Like if I'm not like I'm an active guy, so I wake up as soon as I'm a morning person, so I'm psyched when I
I
wake up.
remember when we was younger, you be the only motherfucker with coffee.
Oh yeah, bro. I would wake up
now
early.
look, now look at me. I'm drinking coffee at
Oh,
freaking
oh yeah,
6 o'clock in the
I
afternoon.
love it. But like that's my thing. Like sometimes I feel like a lot of people stay busy, and I'm speaking for myself. I stay so active, doing busy, and keep my mind busy, because sometimes we're running away from stuff. Honestly, I feel like sometimes like I feel like if we have too much downtime, like we get to thinking and we get the thoughts that just not necessarily bad things, but maybe stuff in the past that we struggle with or whatever. So I feel like we stay so active and busy.
So we don't overthink.
Correct. And that's I mean that's another thing I want to work on. Like man, stop. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like hunting. That's the only thing that helps me.
Yeah.
Literally, the only thing that helps me. I go out there between the gym. I mean, I'm boxing too, but when I go hunting, man, is weird.
That's how running been for me lately. Like it's like such a stress reliever. I go out there and I'm freaking bust my ass, and then after I just feel I could take my shower and go to bed basically,
Yeah.
like or just start my day. It helps out a lot. And then I got something that I could train towards. Like I'm running. My goal is to run a marathon one day.
Oh wow.
So
What
like
was
26 miles.
26 miles? Cool.
So like that's my long term goal.
Yes.
This year I'm gonna run a half marathon. Just this weekend I'm running a 10K, which I've never ran a 10K. That's 6.2 miles. So I
Oh,
got the
you ran that far though, as far as like
yeah, but I've never done it
competitive.
competitively. I've
Gotcha.
never like went out there and laid it all out on the line for 6 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's gonna be crucial.
Yeah, that's no
I
joke.
ran one yesterday, the Homa Tunnel run. Came out fourth.
Come on, man. That's what's up, bro.
250 people.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Heck yeah.
got to the end. I was like, boom.
Done, huh? What was like your pace?
A little under 7 minutes per mile. It was like
That's it.
six something.
That's really good, bro. That's up there,
Yeah,
man.
and then the run was you had to run over the twin span.
Oh, that's no joke. Oh, I did that recently.
It didn't run through the tunnel.
See, I never ran through. Oh no, I have, but I guess I don't really remember what it
Yeah,
felt like. I guess.
it was crucial.
Man, that's just I'm surprised somebody beat you then. At that
Well, the
pace.
dude that freaking won is he just recently won the Louisiana Marathon.
Oh, okay. So the
So
dude's
this
he lives
he's
for this.
yeah, and he's like training to go to the Olympic trials for the marathon.
Oh
This
wow.
ain't your average Joe
No,
that you
this dude's a
run.
beast.
Yeah. He took off and I was like, "Yep. I already know who that is. I'm not even going to try and keep up."
Come on. Yeah, I mean, we used to run a lot, bro. I remember. But I mean, we'd run, get drunk, and run,
We
and
was contradicting ourselves. We would run, get in shape and then like drink and get high that night and
yeah.
completely cancel out all
I
the hard work
I
we
want
did.
to say one. I want to say one meet we did that the night before. We ended up getting drunk. I don't know if we got high, but we definitely got drunk. Man, it might have not been a meet. It was something we did at South Terrebonne though, because I remember going to South Terrebonne. It was what they call it, like you're running against your own teammates. Maybe like a scrimmage type of.
Yeah, like a gator relay almost, where it's
Yeah, I
just the
think it might have been
team
close.
competing again.
Correct.
Yeah,
And we were like just
didn't
young and
care.
dumb, didn't care about nothing.
That's my biggest regret in high school is just not putting my full effort into. I wish I could go back with the same mindset that I have now back to then, because I don't know where I'd be right now.
Correct, bro. I think that's why these podcasts are so good too, bro, because people that are looking, up to us or even, just listening just to, you know,
Yeah, just to
just hear what we got to say, I guess. But if they can learn from the mistakes we made and not do it, because man, all that dumb stuff we did, it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you might be able to get a scholarship. We might have
yeah,
been able to do more, So to me, if people can listen and avoid the mistakes we made, they can move further in life.
if I would have really put in the effort, definitely could have had a scholarship for running.
Oh
Right,
yeah, definitely. You were
cause
you were up there. I mean, I don't I don't know if anybody was beating you at ST or what.
it was probably me and Bailey
You and Bailey,
were going back and forth, and
correct?
then I just kind of fell off the train, smoking too much weed. I
Yeah,
fucking had that piss test thing go on, and
yeah. Because
that kind
what it
of
was like,
derailed me.
some of the top ones was me, you, Bailey,
Gavin
Gavin, and Cameron, right?
and Brennan.
And Brendan, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
Brendan, yeah.
we had a good,
Yeah, like we had a good solid,
I was thinking about this the other day too. Like if you wouldn't have had that whole situation happen, and we would have, or if I could have convinced you even earlier to start running, because
oh,
I
I know.
freaking sat there and come on, Luis, run
Yeah,
with us, run with us. I
yeah,
knew you'd be good.
yeah.
We could have eventually won state.
Oh yeah,
We
because
could have won state
I think so
if
too.
because we was actually training together,
Yeah,
like the whole top five, and
click. Yeah,
we was freaking actually training, and we just had too much extra activities going on
yeah.
for
Too
us to
much.
really be. Because I remember some of the kids we was running against at Assumption, they were worse than us. We was whipping their ass. Probably our freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then they came out my senior year and they won state.
Come on, man.
The
Oh
same
wow.
kids, and I'm like, man,
We
that
would have
could have
started.
been us,
We would
man.
have
That
started
could
earlier for sure. I think I was boxing a lot at that point, so I think a lot of that. I was traveling a good bit at that
yeah.
age.
Let's talk about that. You went to Golden Gloves, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that experience a little bit.
Well, I've fought in Golden Gloves several times. I fought at Ringside, which is a world tournament. I fought at regionals before twice. Regionals like they have a state, and then at the state is regionals, which is like the mid south. For us, is mid south,
Right.
so it'd be I want to say it was like Arkansas, Georgia, just a few states, pretty much like divide,
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
the
know what you mean.
U.S. So I mean, I fought a good bit as far as but even then, bro, like same like we were talking, I wasn't taking it serious.
Yeah.
Me and Scotty Lloyd, we just some wow dudes. Like when I tell you, we would do. I mean, I was
But it
young
was crazy. You was training so hard, but
because I think we have that passion. So the passion is never
gone.
never gone, but you're
All
so
these
caught
different.
up in other
Yeah,
things,
there's so many
so
distractions
yeah,
to.
like at that point, man, like I love to fight. So I'd go over there, sometimes I'd win, sometimes I'd lose, but I never lost because of somebody knocked me out or something. It was more of just points or I got tired because I stayed up the whole night drinking or I remember
Not working on your cardio as much as
correct,
we should
yeah.
have been.
Like I remember one night, the night before, I think we were drinking wine one night just to kind of like say, oh, it's wine, so it's not
Just
that bad. Just dumb stuff,
yeah.
like. And if I could go back,
Wine gets you just as drunk if you drink enough.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was my mind frame. I guess you can say that I was trying to justify drinking.
Well,
Okay,
we was young.
yeah,
I mean, we wasn't fully developed. Like, I mean, we're not even still to
yeah,
this day.
technically,
We're
yeah,
not fully
no,
developed.
no.
Still working on it. So, what's the machine shop life been for you since you got out of high school? I
Man, I
mean,
love it, bro. I
you've
love
been
it.
there.
8 years now, so yeah, I love it, man. It's like a family over there. Shout out to my brother. He just got promoted to production manager. So, dude's dude's awesome, hard worker.
Awesome.
Like I still don't know somebody I can outwork that man, but yeah, we just man, we just work, bro. Like at the end of the day, it was.
What kind of machine you run?
I've ran the lathes, I've ran the mills, I haven't ran no manuals, so mostly is CNCs.
Yeah.
My specialty, I guess you could say, would be the mill. So that's kind of what I lean towards. I do a lot of like the harder work at ASAP, like Cameron work, tighter tolerances. So yeah, I mean that's like right now what my brother was running. It's called the CH12 head and S50 head. He was running that. So now that he got promoted, I'm doing that too. So it kind of I've been so crazy busy at work. I mean, literally, I've been
Y'all
making.
have a lot of work right now.
Oh, we actually this week we kind of took a little hit. We kind of slowed down,
Us
but
too.
since the beginning of the year, I've been.
It's the same. That's the same thing that because I'm in the machine world too. It's the same thing with us. We beginning of the year, those first 3 months, we was booming. Now this
Yeah,
last week or two, it's
I
kind of
know,
been
and it's
slowing down.
weird, man, because oil prices is
I
good.
think it's gonna come back around.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
Wait, you run a machine too, or
I do everything.
come on, man?
I don't necessarily run the machine, but I can. But I do all the paperwork, I answer the phone, I do process, and just I'm
QC.
basically QC. I
Oh
make
wow.
everything flow.
Oh
We're a
wow.
small company. I only got 4 machines and only 2 people that actually run the machines full
Oh
time.
wow. Okay, so yeah, y'all small
Yeah,
though.
we're really small. So when we have work, we're busy as all can be
Oh, wow.
because
Yeah.
I don't stop.
Yeah, that's good though, man. Those
Yeah,
days, that's the days that fly by. Like, I've been at ASAP for 8 years now, and to me, man, the days that are just busy, busy, just fly by. So,
yeah.
but actually, the past three months for me at ASAP have been like, I feel like just yesterday was the end of hunt season, and I was, but
Time been
yeah,
flying by, dude. The week starts and then it's the weekend again.
yeah,
It, it's crazy. I ain't got enough time in the freaking day to accomplish everything I'm trying to do. I don't even know what I'm doing, man. Sometimes I feel like,
we winging it. Yeah, we winging
yeah,
it.
that is exactly right.
For sure.
Ring, man. I was thinking the other day. since we've been doing this podcast, I'm just trying to think of old times that we had. Dusty's
Um,
apartment
oh
back in the
man,
day,
oh
man.
wow, oh snap! Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's cool. We used to.
That was like, I don't know. That was our freaking place we would go to hang out. How she's doing? Have you talked to her?
Yeah, actually, she messaged me early, and I told her she's doing good. She was just coming back from Biloxi. So. Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, me and her, chop it up here and
Yeah.
there. We don't not like we used to, but I still, check up on her, and
Cool.
she checks up on me. But yeah, I mean, that was a our to go place. We used to get pretty loaded back there too,
Yeah, I still remember.
I
This is
remember that.
embarrassing. This is one of the first times that I ever smoked weed. We was sitting in the car and somebody snuck out behind the car and started moving the car. I thought we was in an earthquake, bro.
What it was Neo. It was Neo.
Somebody.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Neo. Yeah, it's crazy. And
Good
then
old
yeah,
days.
Leroy too would come with us. No, he's
I
still.
know. He got a kid now.
Mhm.
Man, I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah,
To reach out to him.
I'll here and there I'll shoot him a text, but or I mean the message on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's usually where I'll. But yeah, man, it's definitely been a life changer, man. And when people talk about God, man, I think that's something that I could really say that changed me the way I've seen things because not all of us have a good father figure there. That God is, like my pops. He'll tell you himself, like, man, for you to look up to me, you'd be doing wrong,
Yeah.
But you got to have somebody that you know morals, because a lot of people like even the atheists to me it's like it's weird because they have morals, but like at the end of the day, where are you getting your morals from? And
Right.
then you look in the Bible and it's in there. You know what I'm saying? So everything you're saying you're atheist that you don't believe in nothing, but if you look in the Bible, every moral you stand for is in the
Is in
Bible.
there.
And it's crazy, Yeah, so to me, but it's not even that. I mean, I've done so much bad. I've done more bad in my life than good. I honestly can say.
You just trying to make up for it now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to live right. Because some people are like, oh man, like when I left South Terrebonne because of all that craziness. A lot of people were like, man, like, what happened and this and that, and at that point, man, like I was a hothead, and I admit it. Don't get me wrong, I had a reason, but
You still are, but you can just you know how
yeah,
to freaking
I know how to
control it
cope
now.
with it. And to me, it's like for a person to hide and say, no, I'm not. I don't have anger issues, or I don't struggle with this. I mean, be open. Like we're men. Like none of us are just walking around like we're all perfect. And so like after
Yeah.
that, I had to switch schools, which I almost got kicked out of HL 2 days into it because I was defending one of my buddies, and this dude just walked up and he was trying to fight him,
That's
but
just how we was living back
yeah, it was just
then.
retarded. But some dude, uh, he grabbed my buddies. He didn't want to fight him, so he pushed me in front. So obviously protect
Didn't
him.
want
I
to
guess you
fight.
can say
Yeah.
no. He didn't
He
want to
didn't
fight.
fight you.
So the dude pushed me, and I'm like, man, what's up? This is my second day at HL, so like it would just look horrible. Okay, I just got kicked out of that school. Let me get kicked out of this one. Which there it was just kind of that kind of made me like because of what was going on. They're like, yeah, you probably can't come back.
Yeah, I definitely need to work on my relationship with God. And I always tell myself, like, whenever, even when I started music, I said, if I am gonna make music, I told myself, I feel like God told me this.
Yeah,
If you're gonna make music, you have to be real and you have to keep me in mind.
yeah,
And I hold that to me. Like, you're not gonna you listen to my music. You don't
yeah,
listen to it and hear me talking about anything like bragging or uh violence or anything
yeah,
really. It's just straight from the heart and it's how I
yeah,
feel. And I felt like making the music that I've made, it kind of got me closer to God. Cause I'm literally, if you go back and listen to my song Soul Searching,
yeah.
I started off, I'm asking God to help guide me through this. That's how
Correct. Yeah.
that was the first song I ever completed. I'm asking God to help guide me
Oh
through this.
wow.
That's how I started it, and He guided me through that
Oh
song.
wow. That's awesome, bro. And yeah, and I agree with that, bro, because I know you. And I can honestly say I know few people that have kept it real, and you're one of them. And but mostly what message you're putting out. Because that's how I feel. And you're expressing yourself. and you're sharing your struggles. You're sharing, but like a lot of rappers do, they share the struggle but never give you a solution. So think about that. If I'm giving you, I don't know, whatever it is, I'm giving you something, but I'm just giving you, I'm not giving you the solution for it, bro. What good does it do for me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because a lot of people nowadays, you listen to these rappers, and they're giving you the struggle, and then, they're talking about toting these pistols, and which, okay, even if you're doing it, most of the time these dudes ain't even living like that.
Yeah.
So, and they got some other,
What comes out of that?
yeah, like you're just showing people to sit here and flash out, and people are doing it nowadays. I mean, you got little 14
That's
year
what
olds,
sells. That's the problem.
correct? So because
'Cause
you're
you
putting on this you're painting this picture for them that, oh, this gangster, because I got a pistol, I'm a gangster, and at the end of the day, man, you shooting because you're scared. You're not shooting because
mm,
you're a gangster. You shooting because you're scared to fight. And
actually go out there and
correct,
throw hands.
correct. So to me, like a lot of these rappers that are, promoting the violence, the gang stuff, the sleeping around with women, like they have no respect for women. Like I just don't condone it. I don't care for it because I've done some of that stuff, so I
Yeah.
know, like,
But most of these rappers that are so young, think about where you were at their age, damn near. Now, how old you are now? 25,
26. Yeah,
26. Most of these rappers aren't even 26 years old
yeah,
yet. So most of them, when they're making this music, they were still in that mind frame that we
correct.
were back then. They just haven't grown up. But the problem is, most of them are gonna end up being dead or in
Yeah,
jail before they even get to that point of growing up. Yeah, they made all this money and whatnot, but
yeah,
it's no good if you're dead or in
yeah.
jail.
Correct. I mean, I don't keep up too much
And the
with.
only ones that, for the most part, that are still alive are the ones that are talking real shit.
Yeah,
Unless you, I mean, there's some that just don't make it through because just the game that they're in, they end up getting shot off or anything. But
and that's how
just
I
keep it
feel.
real, people.
Yeah, like, man, keep it simple. But my thing is too, people glorify, and when I say they're glorifying
Violence.
violence. They're glorifying treating women like this. And man, I'm guilty of it, bro. Because when I was younger, I would put on whatever the song would be, and in my head, like not even really thinking of it, I would do a lot of stuff. So like,
It influences so
correct.
much.
So when you glorifying murder, you glorifying disrespecting people and whatever, and your people, the same people getting murdered, and your women, the same people getting, same
Yeah.
people getting disrespected, raped, and whatever, you're cool with that. So you okay and you promoting this, and you're glorifying it. Yeah, you the same one, you know, like saying something or crying about it. Come on, man. Like you gotta keep it like logical, like from a logical point of view. I can't be glorifying something and then which I don't.
And then be sad that
Correct.
your man's got
You
killed because of the same shit you're promoting.
you either gotta be built for it or not. And that's why, I've told somebody recently they went to jail. They did about 2 years. And I told them, because they called me and they're like, hey man, I want to get out, help me out. I said, look, you living this life on the street, you got to be built for it. I'm not gonna sit here and go murder somebody, and then when I go to jail, oh man, help me out. Nah, like either built for it or not, and you can't. It's not a.
You did the crime, do the time.
Yeah, it's not no like. This ain't no fairy tale. This ain't no movie. Like you
Yeah.
can't just murder somebody and just always get away with it. 'Cause, I mean, some people do, and but if you look at all these people putting out that music, putting on, they're getting murdered. They're gonna
Yeah.
die because some of them are really living it out. At the end of the day, some
Well,
of them
the ones that are gonna go and test you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's gonna see if
yeah,
you really about that shit.
yeah. Like who was uh, who was beefing with Eminem recently? Because I mean, like at the end of the day, Eminem still like since I was a kid, I listened to Eminem, and they had some other dude beefing with him. I forgot his name. Man. Some dude they were like diss rapping each other. It was Kelly Machine Gun.
Oh,
No,
Machine Gun Kelly.
yeah, it
He
was him.
was,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, bro, this is one of the greats, and
Yeah.
you beefing with him. And even though, like,
He's doing
obviously,
it for
it
to
to get that
gain off of it.
correct, and to me, it's like you got to be careful because Eminem really grew up in the struggle, which I don't know the other guy, so I don't really can't speak on him, but like you gotta realize some of us really will flash out and we don't care what happens.
Mm,
So like you can talk crazy to a million people. And all you need
You
is that one
that
person.
wrong
Yeah,
person over with for you.
and that's what I like about you, bro. Like you put out this music, but you have a message, you know. And I think always like I've shared Brian T with you. Dude done had this dude was really living like it. His brother got murdered. He had attempted murders. Like he had all these charges. Like thugging. Like this dude was
Yeah.
thugging. So now he's preaching about Jesus and sharing, you know, like the evil side of stuff. And man, I got mad respect for the dude because of that. Because
He
he's
can
putting out a message that's life changing. Like, man, you ain't gotta do all this crazy. No wrong. Like, just because you know you run around with a pistol don't mean you're just protecting yourself. You know, but
right.
when you run around to find somebody to flash on, like
That's
it's
a
just
different
not.
level to it
Yeah,
then.
like you just looking for wickedness. You know, and
Well, if you got it on you for protection, that's a different thing. But if you going out there to brutally murder
yeah,
somebody, like just like this thing that happened the other day in Houma with that 8-year-old girl that got shot,
yeah,
like that's it's messed up
yeah,
because first off, that guy should have been in jail, but the justice system, that's their fault
yeah,
for him not being in jail. But just this guy just shooting and not thinking about who's gonna die.
yeah.
I mean, he's shooting at that car for a reason. He's probably trying to kill that guy that was in the car,
Correct.
and you go and shoot this innocent girl that's 8 years old that hasn't even lived her life. She
Yeah.
hasn't even. It's messed up.
Which I think, and that's a lot of the music, bro. I would have to say, like a lot of the music that they put out now, I feel like is just you go out here, you took these pistols, you do this and that, and that's a man. And man, that's not a man. Like to me, like I actually, man, I always on the east side, you always hear gunshots. You always hear automatics. So like me, I'm not gonna be no victim. Like I've
Mm,
had beef with dudes in the past, man. Me, Scotty, Lloyd, we had pistols pulled out on us. We so we live
shit, I
as
done
far as
got
like
pissed. I got pistol whipped.
oh well, I got never got pistol with, but I don't
No,
had
I didn't get pistol whipped. I got freaking choked from behind, and my fucking head slammed on the fucking cement with
oh
damn gun to my head. I didn't get pistol whipped. I got
oh
that was a
yeah. I mean that's
fucked up
just as bad.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
knocked
what I'm
out.
saying. Like you out here. And when you living like that, you know, just out me and Scotty have talked. I was actually with him earlier, but we've talked about this. Man, God done spared us so many times, bro. Like I remember at a party in Raceland, man. We were about to fight, bro. I say about 100 dudes, man, just over him. He talked to one girl. You know, it was somebody's girlfriend. He didn't know, little dude come out. Of course, always the little guy. But he's like, "Oh, what's good?" I'm like, "Nah, man."
That
He's
little
like,
man
"Yeah."
syndrome.
I was like, "Nah, you good?" And he's like, "Nah, what's up, man?" I said, "Nah, that's my homeboy." So he didn't know. And then at that point, I knew two big old dudes come out with dreads. I'm like, "All right,
Mm,
what's up?" So at that point, they're walking us down. It's a few of us. It was really me, Scotty, and Lloyd. The other ones, I mean, they would have
that's
fought
that's
too,
that's
but
that's still a 3 pack that you don't
yeah,
want to mess
yeah.
with.
So at that point, walking us down, and one dude pulls out a gun and shoots in the air. I mean, luckily he didn't shoot us because I thought for sure once we jumped in my truck that he was gonna
Just
load it
shoot
on
it.
it. But I mean, we can name several times, that people have pulled out guns and just putting yourself in that environment though, bro. Because a lot of
You keep
people.
putting yourself in that environment, something bad's gonna
Oh yeah,
happen.
yeah. Man, I remember one
Like,
night, Scotty smashed some dude up because something happened at the gas station, so we followed the dude. Like, man, this dude he ain't about to get
mm,
away, so we followed him, and it didn't end up well for him. Like we had warned him. We were like, oh, and so
mm,
Scott, his man, follow him aside, and
he
we had,
changed man now though.
yeah, yeah, we don't live like that no more. But just to let people know, like, man, like we walked in those shoes and we know how stupid it was.
That
It's not.
did so wrong. It's time to
Yeah,
do good.
like yeah, it's like man, like so many times you put yourself in positions to die or to get locked up. Why do it? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I remember running around, man, black ice saving me. We had 2 ounces on us. Like cop pulls us up. We got beer. We got drugs. We're going to Oasis down by in Grand Isle, whatever. And man, I as soon as he lit me up, late. We got all kind of stuff in the truck, and this was years ago. And thank God that black guy. So when he said, "Man, that's strong, huh?" I thought he was talking about weed, and I'm like,
Right.
"Man, yeah." And put my head down like that. I had the 2 beers, and so at that point I was like, is it
I
going
had the
about it?
same thing happen to me. Like the exact same
Oh,
story you
black
told.
eyes? Come on, man.
But wasn't the black ice that got it away. I don't know how the hell I got away with it, but I had an ounce of weed in the car and drinking Jaeger and Red Bull on the way to Grand Isle. I'm driving.
Come
We had
on,
two other
man.
people in there with me drinking, getting drunk on the way to Grand Isle, and I get pulled over for speeding. And I freaking thank God I had some mints or some gum or something. I put it in. I got out the car, went meet him behind, and I'm trying to keep my distance. He never really came up to the vehicle. He radioed me out.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so thank God.
Yeah, he approached mine. He approached my truck. I had black. I mean, 10. Like he would have hit a lick for sure. And but see, man, like all these things, bro. To people that are listening, man, don't do these stupid things. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, these stupid things,
They ain't getting you
we yeah,
nowhere.
and one we might have got away with it, and
You
other
might
people,
not.
nah,
But just like I was telling you earlier, like I gave up drinking for Lent, and I've just gotten so much more done
yeah,
productive wise. Because I mean, I was just getting drunk just to get drunk
yeah,
during the weekend. It's like, what am I getting out of that at the end of the day?
yeah. And like I'm saying, man,
I
like
mean, it's cool you drink for occasions and whatnot,
yeah.
but literally to constantly be doing it all the time, what's the point of it? I'm trying to do something with my life.
And that's what separates a lot of people, though, bro. You got to see it, because I still got people, that obviously they know I don't drink, but will question me like, do I think it's a heaven and hell thing? And no, you drink a beer, you're not going to hell. Like
Right.
that's not biblical. That's not. But the Bible does speak about a drunk. It speaks down on a drunk. It speaks about alcohol, and people say, "Oh, Jesus turned water into wine." But if you look like deeper, that's where a lot of people get you. They're like, "Oh, well, Jesus turned water into wine," or whatever. Well, you never even took the time to really look at the scripture, and it talks about new wine, man. In which, I mean, back then it's a deep conversation, but they would try to justify it to be to drink and get drunk. And my thing is, you drink a beer, you drink
It's
some
not in.
wine, you're not going to hell. You're not in
But if you're
sin
constantly getting drunk, just
to get
beating on your wife and
correct.
just
Because at the end of the day, man, that's beer. I know a lot of the bad choices I made
was alcohol
was alcohol,
influenced.
either that or drugs or whatever. So you can say, I mean, some people can cope with it a little better.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, like me, my nature's wild. So like,
right.
you know,
I obsessively anything that I do, I obsess over it pretty
you have
much.
addictive personality.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
addicted. Anything that I freaking start.
which is good though.
Yeah.
It's a blessing for
If you
sure.
channel it in the right direction,
Correct.
you have to channel it in the right direction. Because if not, I'm just gonna fall in like everybody else in my family did and
No.
just go down the wrong path.
Yeah, especially if it's a generational thing, man. Like,
Oh,
my dad,
definitely
my dad
is.
was alcoholic. Like, and I mean, not just alcoholic, but a lot of, so like me, I've drank, and don't get me wrong. To me, I never felt like it was something I needed. So like when I stopped drinking, it
It
wasn't
was
hard for me.
yeah.
Stop doing dope, it wasn't hard for me. Like to me, it was just like I did it in the moment to get faded, to not feel,
Well, because that's what everybody else was doing
yeah,
that you was hanging around with.
correct.
I mean, whoever you hang around with on a daily basis
Yeah.
is that's what you're gonna turn into.
Hey, and that's total true, bro. Like, when I first, surrendered to God and really started walking right, I had to leave so many people, and it was for a season. It wasn't, I had to find myself and feel like find out what I could do, not do, and that caused me to stray away
You
from
had to
God.
get that inner strength to, all right, yeah, I can go around these people that
Correct,
are doing this and that and not fall off the wagon.
correct,
That's
correct.
that's what I'm hoping that this how long Lent is for? A month and a half or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Like I'm not even tempted
yeah.
to get drunk anymore. Like I'm just focused on what I got going on, and that's what I intend to just do till the wheels fall off of that.
And I tip my hat for you, because a lot of people are scared to fail, bro. And at the end of the day, man,
I
you've
would
been with Cheyenne how long?
shit, seven
Yeah, y'all been
years.
together a long time. So like I've seen y'all when y'all first started. So I knew like, man, something special for sure. Like I just knew, I don't know. But to me, like when you get to a place where you don't have nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not trying to
Trying
paint a picture for
my
people.
biggest thing is if I don't try all these different ideas that I have in my head, I will feel like I have failed. But if I don't try it, but me trying it, and if I do fail, who cares? Who cares if I fail? But
Correct.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself not trying.
Correct. I
I'm
agree.
not afraid to fail.
No.
I'm afraid of not trying and being too
Gotcha.
scared to even attempt the things that I want to attempt.
Nah, bro. I agree, man. I think I feel the same way. You know, like I literally not now that I got into it and people see the videos, I don't care. If you don't like it, that's cool. Like I don't, or if you, because at the end of the day, sadly, when you know, because you will, you gotta speak it into existence. So when you blow up, which I believe you will, um, there's gonna be a lot of people, right? Like right now, probably 90% of the people that you either grew up with or that kind of close, low key are not happy for you. You gotta understand, like I know in my position as far as like my life now,
They want
there's
to see you down
yeah,
bad
they because they're cool with a billionaire. Give an example, Trump. People glorify, oh, he's a billionaire, he's a businessman but he was already set up to be one. His dad had money. So, but when they see somebody like us that come from nothing, that come from the same neighborhood they came from, or the same school,
because they were too scared to even
correct,
do that.
correct, and that's why to me, like,
They don't see the hard work that we've
yeah,
put into ourselves
yeah,
to,
and like you, like your work ethic, you're obviously still at that company because of your work ethic. I know a lot of people through this oil field, that up and downs, that got let go, that got laid off.
and it was for a reason.
Correct. You got to make yourself, and I hope this helps somebody, but you got to make yourself valuable. If I come to work and I put nothing on this table and I expect to stay here when it gets hard, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I gotta,
That's why I'm still with the company that I'm with,
yeah,
because if I'm not there, like, shit
correct.
don't flow right.
They're gonna be hurting, correct.
Yeah.
So that's my point when I gotta see it. Like a lot of people have that work ethic of it's a paycheck. And to me, it's not. It's more than that, bro. At the end of the day, you feed. A lot of people see it like this. They go over there and they milk the clock. They do this and that. And we've been working. Me and my brother's been working since we could crawl. So like, it was always playing sugarcane on a whole farm, which you probably don't know a lot of this. We did carpentry work with my dad. We did roofing. We did fences. We did when we were young. We started
Yeah.
8 years old. Probably younger than that. But you got to make yourself valuable. You got to add something to the company. And if and
Wait,
then
and you gotta think too. You have other people there that work for that company that are depending on you.
correct,
Like, you don't come to work and do your job right, and everything starts falling apart. You're not only affecting you, but you're affecting families.
correct. Every mouth that check
Yeah.
feeds, and that's my biggest thing too. Like a lot of people see it, my family, my paycheck, my bills. Nah, man, look at homeboy that he been struggling for the past 6 months, and he can't even feed his family. So I'm a do give the company 50%, and then maybe 2 years the company shuts down because of it.
Yeah.
You got to see the big picture, and I think that's another thing that a lot of people will envy, that work ethic, because not everybody has it. And I get it. Not everybody comes from the struggle. Not everybody. So you can't give heart what they never needed heart. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I think like this. You give, a lot of kids, they have parents that give them trucks, brand new trucks, buy a house for them, do all kinds of stuff. So for them, the value of work, the value of a car, of a truck, it's not much because they didn't really have to work
Yeah.
for it.
And they can get another one
Correct.
if
So
anything happens to them.
so to me, like when you have people like us that have the values to, because man, nothing was given to us. We have a passion that most people don't, and I get it. So at that point, I got to be mindful, like, 'cause sometimes I will get on people, like, man, like, what you doing, like, and even though it's not my job, I will say something because it is hurt my family. So like,
Right.
if you don't like me, it's whatever. Like, I don't care, But it's kind of it's kind of I think a thing that us men should promote is a good work ethic. I think that's key. Because I'm not. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not. You tell me if you're lazy, not and you hurt my family. I'm gonna let you know. Like
Yeah.
it's just if you don't like it,
It's just something in us that we have that work ethic. All
then
them years of
yeah,
struggle and whatnot, kind of like you said, people that had it easy, they don't
yeah.
have that grit.
Mm-mm. It
It's
ain't.
hard to get that.
Yeah, you gotta want it, man. And
And I'm real lucky to have that
yeah,
because look at the people that don't have it and they
my thing is, how can you wake up without having a drive and passion for something? But man, when I wake up, I guess that's why I'm a morning person because I wake up and I know then like today I'm gonna be productive. Like you know, as long as God allows me, I'm gonna be productive. So like my wife knows that when I'm up, I'm a happy person. Just don't wrong. Like some days I have my moods, but most of the time, bro, I try to be even if whatever the case might be, having a bad day, because I do have a lot going on too. Like obviously I don't speak on it, but I do have a lot going on out of between work, the stress I have at work, between family issues, not necessarily my wife, but different other
yeah,
issues that I don't speak of, but like I tell her, I'm like, I'm still dealing with stuff that you don't know about, but I still come home and I smile and I take care of business. So like, you know,
that's the man. And you
yeah, and
come
that's and
home
that's what
and
I'm saying. Like you gotta sometimes see the big picture and like they might not see your struggle, but you can't expect them to understand your struggle when they never walked in your shoes. So that's another kind of thing that I feel like with her, like the way she grew up compared to me, I don't expect her to understand why I move like I move because she never walked in my shoes. So,
man, it's been a good conversation.
I don't know, bro. How long you planned on?
I didn't even have a plan going
Oh,
in.
that's
I
I
just
was
just
kind of.
whatever it was.
Yeah, we're all over the place, but I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of expected
I
that. I
had
was
some
like,
I had some things written down, but I haven't even really looked at them
come
because
on,
we just
man. I'm,
been.
I'm open, bro. Whatever you want to talk about.
No, we pretty much talked about everything that I had written. So
It's pretty cool to see. Like, I mean, after this, I'm gonna get with you about the podcast because I'm kind of psyched. Like, eventually, I will get into it. Like, and I like your setup. It's awesome. Like, it looks,
yeah, I'm ready to have an actual house because we're doing this at my grandma's. For the ones that don't know,
yeah.
because my house is way too freaking loud. But I want like a room just like this, but set up for podcasts, like a little business room and my recording
Uh,
studio. That's the plan.
yeah, bro. You gotta have a vision, man. It
Yeah, I
starts with
got it.
that.
I'm actually supposed to have a sign back here. Hopefully, this video is on YouTube, but there's supposed to be a sign back here. That's watch. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah.
But the girl that I got to make it for me on the way to delivering it got in a car wreck.
Oh wow.
Thank God she's
She's
okay,
okay.
but
Oh okay. Nice.
it's actually gonna be a little bigger than that. I don't know where the original, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. That's
so
good,
I'll be able to
man.
set that up in the background.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah, bro. You gotta, like I said, we gotta have a vision, and that's one thing. Like I noticed when me and my brother started the filming, that we inspired a lot of people to start filming. And I've been, I've got people literally when we go hunting now, we'll run into people. It's crazy because you wouldn't expect it would
Yeah,
blow up that much, but
you
there's
run into people that's watched your
watch
video.
your videos, man, and it's pretty cool because you're like, we were eating at this it's called the Lucky 13, and we are just eating really tired, so we didn't really
That's
want
crazy.
so much. And the guy comes up and he's like, "Oh man, y'all them guys on so and so channel," and we're like, "Yeah, man, this is a nice buck you killed." And say, "Yeah, man," and I always brag on my brother because the dude's a killer. Like he's done laid down some animals, so like I don't take all the credit because no, I'm not scared to go out there. I'll go out
Yeah.
there in the dark. Like what I do, most people probably wouldn't do. Like I walk in some palmettos, man, 6 foot tall, 6 foot, and I'm walking.
Where at in Louisiana do y'all actually hunt? I don't, you ain't got to give away the exact hunting
Oh
spots,
well,
but
man, I'd be lying because we hunt all over. Like we've hunted, it's called Comanche Forest. Different WMAs. I mean, against the river, Mississippi River. So if anybody on here is hunting, I recommend the river. Hunt against the river, the Mississippi, because the habitat that it produces is just perfect for big monsters. Like man, I tell you, like that one, that's where it was. It was not far
the
from the river, and my brother Eddie missed one last year, man. He would have probably ate the one I killed this year. So if you think about that, we're like I was actually want to bring this up too because I thought about it earlier. But a lot of people are like, man, it's gonna be hard to top and this and that. But the way to have success is to put yourself in a position to be successful. So like a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, it's to be hard to top that." Yeah, man, they don't even know we've laid eyes on some monsters, bro. So like,
As long as you stay
no,
persistent with it.
correct, and it's putting yourself in that position to be successful. We've let deer walk like this the past 2 years. We let more deer walk than people. I
Your
know
average
people on
person.
leases. I know people on leases that don't see deer, and these people are feeding. But between the hard work, scouting, and all that, we're just putting the work in, and we're putting ourselves in positions to be successful. And I think that's what was changing, that being a game changer for us. Like my brother missing that monster last year, it was just kind of a rush scenario he had. So I probably would have done the same thing. But at that point, you kind
It's a
of,
growing moment.
yeah, so people saying, "Oh man, that it's gonna be hard to top that." Maybe for you, because you're not putting yourself in that place to be successful. You can limit yourself, never limit me though, and that's
Yeah,
how I feel like with everything now, with work, with
I like that.
it's just you can limit yourself, but don't ever limit me because I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do what I have to do. So
Yeah.
if that means working, and you can take that in your relationship and work ethic, you can take that, and at the end of the day, you know a person by how hard they work. Because I know if my work ethic is sucky at work, it's gonna be sucky at home. It's gonna be sucky in my relationship. It's gonna be sucky in my passion
Yeah,
for
if you
whatever I'm
put in
doing.
half-ass effort into anything, that's
Correct,
just what
bro.
it's
And
gonna
it, and
be.
it and it reflects everything in your life. So when you're a dad, I'm gonna put half the effort there. So like when you meet a person that is just straight, man, this dude does everything with his heart, and he puts everything into it. Man, that's the people you like want to be around because at the
Yes.
end of the day, like on an everyday level, you got to be around people that motivate you and then don't low key hate on you because I know,
Want to see
yeah,
success.
like I know, some people just sadly, envy you. So, with you coming up like you're a lot of people that know us, they're gonna be like, oh man, these guys are no, we just got the nuts to do this, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we got the balls
We're
to step
crazy
out.
enough to go and
Yeah.
fucking try
And
and
if
do
we mess
something.
up, it's whatever, bro. Like we tried and that's why I think it's definitely like with work, I'm setting myself up financially. Well, I am already set up financially to be able to like take over 4 months. So
You took off for 4 months
no, I
this past.
could if I
Oh,
wanted to. Like I want to, but I probably with the baby it's probably gonna be
yeah.
it's probably not gonna be
The financial is gonna
well
take a
no,
damper.
it's more just time, bro. Like I feel like if I leave her that long, it's just gonna be
Yes.
rough on her. So even though I'm home every night, it's just I'm gonna be mindful of the scenario. But if that's kind of how with boxing takes so much time. So I literally almost have to quit my job, work part time, and box to.
Well, hopefully one day the YouTube channel blows up enough that
That's what I'm saying.
you
At
can
that point,
freaking do it.
all I'm doing is, I can still work, but at that point, I can say, hey, look, I'm working 7 on 7.
Yeah,
So, work a week, on a week, or whatever, just,
that'd be awesome.
and that's my other thing, like setting yourself up financially to where you have multiple
Have the
incomes,
freedom to be,
multiple
yeah.
incomes. Because at
That's
the
what
end
I'm
of,
working on.
yeah,
Because like I'll have a little bit of income from the music, not big at all,
yeah,
but hopefully it grows
correct.
as. And then the podcast got a little bit of income of getting paid from ads and stuff. So and then work, and I don't know. I'm just trying to add into that
And it
pot,
will,
and just
bro.
hopefully one thing just pops off, and we'll be good.
I definitely think it will, bro. Like, just be yourself, like, and that's me and my buddy were talking about that. A lot of people don't step out because it looks so impossible. Like I'm a machinist, so the other day I spent $400 on some sticks, aluminum sticks to use to climb a tree. $400. I could have built these things. I just don't have time. But I was thinking, I was like, man, like I know how to do this. All I gotta do is step out in faith and say, "Oh, I'm gonna build these."
Yeah.
So if I build them and sell them for $100, but it only took me $40 between time and material, I can make a big profit. So like my thing is a lot of people see it like, oh man, now I gotta get a pet, now I gotta get insurance. It looks so impossible. But man, you just gotta do it. And to
Yeah.
me, it's like it was an
You lay
option.
out the freaking steps it's gonna take, and just start knocking them
You
damn
know,
things out. We was talking about this before the podcast, like actually taking that leap. it took for me to put out a song. I had to stop thinking about it and just put it out as
Correct.
quickly as I could. Just
The
get it over with, get that first anxiety out of
yeah,
the way, and then everything kind of just falls into place after that because you got that first initial video out the way or whatever.
correct.
Like the same thing with trying to get used to being on video,
Yeah,
like or just trying to get comfortable with
yeah.
it. Because I mean, it's not something that's just naturally. We're not
No,
naturally supposed to be
no,
talking in front of a camera.
no.
We're not,
It's
and
not.
as humans, that's not natural. You just got to build up to that. Yeah,
Which I think, like you said, if you, man, you just stay focused, bro. Like, anything, because you will have your up and downs. Like this season, it was up and down for me. Um, but at the end of the day, if you just stay focused and keep pushing, I'm telling you, bro. Like that's how I see it now. Like,
speaking of keep pushing, go check out my music video to keep pushing.
oh yeah, there you go. Heck
Little
yeah,
plug
bro.
in.
Yeah, man. And so my thing is like never limit yourself. I'm not at that point.
No,
I talked to Byron the
shoot.
other
If
day.
you're gonna shoot, shoot for the damn stars. I was
Yeah,
telling my little brother that yesterday because he ran a 5K with me for the first time. He's like, "Well, I want to go for this time," and I was like, You can do that time. Like, try it and get lower than that. I mean, if it don't happen, it don't happen.
yeah.
But man, go out there and
Give it
shoot
all.
for the freaking stars. That's why, like, with the running stuff, people think I'm crazy because I want to run a marathon. But you know how many people run marathons in the
Mhm.
world? It's not a uncommon thing,
Yeah,
really.
might be crazy to you, but
Yeah, because you don't even see the route or possibility
correct.
for you to do that. But I'm thinking a marathon, and I'm like, well, once I do that, I could see me doing 50 miles. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not,
and
and
I'm
I
not trying to put a limit onto
no,
to anything.
and that's how it should be, bro. I think I know that
I
mentality.
because we're still so young.
Yeah,
You just gotta freaking. I had to start doing stuff, and like I don't know. I want to accomplish as much as I freaking can.
yeah. Do it, bro. Like, I mean, don't keep your keep your foot on the gas, and like I tell people, man, don't limit yourself, because that's how I feel now. Like I'm, from finances, and I try to do it in everything, you know, but I'm not gonna limit myself, because like who am I to really limit myself when God did create us to, and like I said, not everybody's meant to do everything. So like it definitely has to be a passion of yours. I feel like with running and stuff, it's a passion that we have. Boxing, hunting. Like this is stuff I've been doing that since I was a kid. Me and my
Right.
brother, we'd go to Whole Farm Road behind the woods and shoot animals, do like all kind of crazy stuff in the woods. So it was always something that a way I could escape the world, the woods. Same thing with boxing. It was I was boxing. I forgot what age I started, but it was always a way for me to cope with my anger, and so I ended up getting in trouble, had anger management, all kind of dumb stuff, but none of
Doesn't
that helped
doesn't
like boxing.
anger management just make you more
Oh
mad?
hell yeah, dude! I'm telling you, bro. When I went, it was actually $25 a class I had to take, and the guy, they would ask me like, "Oh man," and it's just so
I
like,
was just when I had it too,
"Oh, you
and
did?"
yeah, and I went and I got more mad because I had to wake up on the weekend
Yeah, I think it
and
was
go
the
to
weekend. Yeah,
like an early Saturday morning at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I was so mad
yeah.
in high
So it
school.
makes you more mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you like, oh my god, yeah. It's
definitely needed anger management.
oh yeah. I still, man, to this
Yes,
day, that's something I pray God helps me with every day, because I think when you go through so much in life, which I haven't shared, man, 50% of what like my life, but that's just certain things just people don't know. They don't need to know it.
it might come out one day, but
Yeah,
right
you know what
now
I'm
it's
saying.
just not time for
But
it to.
even that, like, I feel like a lot of people don't care. Truly, they don't care until you're somebody. So, like, I feel like one day when your music is just out there, people are gonna really want to know you. And the people that really want to know you now is probably the people that are gonna matter. That really care for you, because yeah, you only care because you see,
I'm something
yeah,
now.
I'm somebody. People are asking for my autograph or whatever. To me, like all that stuff don't matter. Like I don't. I tell my wife like me getting recognized at north at stores at all kind of. I was in Tennessee, a few weeks back. And a guy that we went to school with, he's like, "Oh, hey man, I've been watching." And I was like mind blown. I'm like, his name was Bailey, and he went to school with us or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I really didn't know him,
Mm,
but he said, "Man, I've been watching your videos, and I'm in Tennessee." So I'm like,
it's
"Hold
getting
on, bro. Like, there ain't no way they made it this far." But then he told me he went to school with us. So and but my thing is, I'm not even looking for that, bro. Like, I'm not. That's
no,
not even something that like you. I'm sure you're not looking to be famous or like that. I mean,
not at all.
that's a shallow-minded way of thinking because at the end of the day, man.
I'm looking at help somebody to take that leap, like we've been talking
Yeah.
about. Like it's really is torture on your mind
Oh,
whenever
bro.
you want to do something, but you don't know the steps to take.
Yeah.
You don't even know where to start, and to go and actually start doing the stuff. Like I didn't know anything about making music or anything like
You
that.
probably didn't know what a mic looked like, probably.
I
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
no earthly idea. The first songs that I made, that song Fantasy, Soul Searching, I made all that on my phone with
Really? Oh,
headphones.
wow. Come on, man. I
Yeah,
didn't know
because
that.
I had bought the freaking software for the computer to record on the computer and whatnot. I just couldn't figure it out. I
Yeah.
had no earthly idea, but they had this app on my phone called Band Lab that made it so easy and simple. And I was able to do that. And once I figured it out on the phone, I was like, all right, well, this should kind of translate into this
Yeah.
program that I have that I paid freaking $300 for. And
Oh,
it's just
wow.
so complicated. There's so many different things you can do and whatnot. And I got back on it and was able to so I bought a mic. Then I was like, well, I got the equipment. I might as well start a podcast now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man.
So, I mean,
And you're here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You're moving forward. That's
because I'm always wanting to prepare myself for what's next. Like the music brought me to podcasting. Podcasting is kind of bring me to YouTube. So I'm just kind of, you
yeah.
know, just
Move forward, bro.
yeah, just
Because you
evolving.
never know, man. Like what? Because people at the end of the day, they're looking for personality too. Like I find like people like certain personalities, so they will simply sometimes like they might not follow me because of the hunt type of hunt I do, but they might just like my personality. So some people might do the same with you. They might like your personality, so then they might like your music, or just they get different sides of you, I
It's
guess, and they
different
get
avenues into
correct because
what we
they
got
might be able
going
to
on.
see your music, but they truly don't know you until you're
Yeah.
live. So I think, inspiring people, that's been my thing too, inspiring a lot of young people. Like I've got messages, bro. When I tell you, like after I killed a deer, man, I had a lot of people that messaged me, man, awesome deer, this and that. I had one dude
So
that
much
mess
you can't even keep up with.
yeah, I was at this point, I was like, I wasn't really even yeah, I couldn't respond. I didn't have time. Like I told my wife, it's like I can't even go to sleep. I have about a million messages. But man, I'm not gonna this year, I'm not limiting myself, bro. Between, I'm big right now, I'm big on just saving money. I'm big on just making sure
I know I
that
see you posting Dave Ramsey a lot. You've
yeah.
read his books or
I
listened to
haven't
them?
I mean, I've been doing they have I don't know if you ever did like the baby steps. As
Yeah,
far as they
I
have
listened
like
to the man, one of his books. I have to send it to you. I listened to that and it kind of it just listening to that book kind of
yeah.
changed my life almost. Just how he talked about his wife and how the role that she played in his life and stuff in the book. It's like, man, I need to get married.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. It's definitely you got to definitely have a backbone for that. But yeah, with Dave Ramsey, I'm big on him, man, because I think it was a like a pre-trial kind of, and then I paid $100 for like to continue. Um, but pretty much the way I do with him is just taking what he's teaching because he's teaching stuff that they will never teach in school. So
But it's so
it's
simple.
simple, yeah.
It's it,
It's
it
common
really is.
sense.
Yes, it really is. If you think about the stuff that he talks about at the end of the day, it's just not getting in debt, getting yourself out of debt, having that snowball effect. Like
Correct.
if you have all these different bills and whatnot, you pay off the smallest one, and then you start paying on the next smallest one. Boom, 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 until everything's paid off, and then you just save your damn money and
Yeah.
pay cash from whatever you can. I mean, of course, you're gonna buy a house, you're gonna be able to just pay
Yeah.
that off
That's
cash.
well that's what and he explains that like another thing is like with taxes. When you do your taxes, make sure they're taken not taken. they're giving you all your money up front, so you might not get a big return back, but they're not using your money. You're using it, investing what you needed now. That was one big thing that I learned recently. Um, like you said, staying out of debt. Just that's big, bro. Like me, I had a truck note. I was like, man,
I
all I
know. I
do,
almost asked you earlier. What
yeah.
happened to that big ass truck you
Oh yeah. I
had?
mean, like that was my biggest thing. All I did was hunt and work and jump. So at that point, I was like, man, I got this note.
What do you need it
I'm
for?
scratching this truck up. So at that point, I got rid of it. Um,
And that's probably the smartest decision you
yeah, bro,
felt
because
like.
that one I bought that one for like 6,000 cash. I just put a new motor, so that was like 5,000. So I'm like 11, 12,000 in, but it's paid off. So
Yeah,
like to me, it's like,
that's why it was so hard for me to go and buy a truck because I didn't want to give up driving that car,
yeah,
but I knew I needed something that was going to be
reliable,
reliable
yeah,
for the future. Because the truck I got, once I pay it off, it's a Toyota.
yeah. And things last forever.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting at least 15 years out of
Oh
that sucker.
man,
I ain't gonna need nothing new.
and just being simple, man. I think if people would, like Marcus, like I've shared some stuff with him, and like the position I'm in financially now, bro, I never thought I would be in, but it took sacrifice. It took a lot of work. It took just a lot of discipline. And now that I know with like the Dave Ramsey thing, because I wish people would speak about it more. Because nowadays you talk about money and people just kind of get like, no, bro, like this is we all have to make money. We all have to
Yeah.
spend money.
I had a podcast about money, like
Really?
one of like the third episode,
Come
fourth,
on,
fifth,
man. I didn't
something
even
like that.
see that
Yeah,
one. Oh, okay. I want
I
to
talked
check it
about
out.
Dave Ramsey in there.
Oh wow, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to check that one out. But like, I think that is key, bro, because man, I know a lot of people that I went to school with, that went to college, that are in crazy debt, that what I'm saying. And to me, it's like, yeah, it's okay to do it, if you have like if you're going to a doctor or something, because you have a purpose, and
right.
but that's not the only way to, what I'm saying, make a living. If you're doing something, like
I don't want
being
to be a slave.
correct. And the end of the day, if you're in all kind of debt, you're
You're a
a
slave
slave,
to
bro.
that
You have
debt.
to go to work. Like me, I can literally quit my job tomorrow and not work for a year or two and be good. So, but I'm setting myself up like that because like, I wanna have that freedom. Because at the end of the day, who wants to
Yeah.
go to work every day?
Like me and Cheyenne literally was having this conversation before I came here because she's
Oh,
all in fits wants me to buy a house.
mhm.
It's not that I can't afford the note.
Yeah,
I would like to pay off my truck.
yeah,
So I have the freedom. I'm not stressed out. Like
yeah,
I don't need because if I would get a house note and the truck note, I just feel like it'd be too much on my plate. I already got a lot that I put on my plate.
yeah.
That would just be adding to it. I don't want to be so stressed out. Like I have to go to work. I have to do this.
Correct,
So if something does end up happening or something, then I'd be in a freaking financial bind. And I
correct.
don't want to stress about money.
No, bro, because that adds a lot of stress to a relationship. I mean, I'm sure that's probably one of the biggest. I never looked it up, but like divorce reasons from a lot of my coworkers, they've had issues. It's been money.
Yeah.
So if you can eliminate that one thing, and that's my thing, man. Stop trying to paint a picture. If you have this nice truck,
It's
and
being
people
so
don't
flat.
care.
I mean, what you talking about, though? Look at
Yeah,
this big
man.
ass
Yeah,
chain
but
you
that's
got.
about the only thing I got that is about money. Literally, now I always like gold. That was probably the only thing but literally between
Next time I
shoes.
see you, you better not have no big old gold ring
Oh
on or
no,
nothing.
yeah. But yeah, my wife knows that. I think I haven't bought a pair of shoes, bro.
I bought a pair of running shoes the other day, and that was the first pair of shoes I bought in I can't even tell you how
Yeah, I
long.
want to say 3 to 4 years, literally for me. I'm dead serious. Like my mom bought me these, so like you know what I'm saying. I don't spend no money. I mean, jeans is probably, but work jeans.
Yeah.
So even that,
I
like,
I got a pair of jeans that I go to work in, bro. I got the biggest
biggest hole.
hole.
Come on, man. Holy pants. Come on, man.
Biggest hole in the crotch too.
Yeah,
I can't get myself to go to the store and just spend $15 on a new pair
yeah.
of pants.
I don't
They
know.
still do the same thing for me. I wear
Yeah,
shorts underneath and
yeah.
my junk's not all hanging
I
out.
try.
So
That's my thing. I'm like, man. Like the other day, I ripped some. 5 in the morning. I bend over to pick some up. Boom, they rip. I'm like, oh man. So, but I think just being simple. You know what I'm saying? Like like hunt stuff. Obviously, that's you're spending money on stuff, but it's
it's
technically
like
it's an investment,
you're investing in yourself
correct?
basically.
and like something that
like
doesn't lose
like this
value.
right here. Like
That's
I didn't want to spend the money on it, but it's what I needed to do what we're doing
correct.
right now.
Correct.
Like, I'm
And that's
looking at
why I
the long
think,
term picture.
yeah, and I think if people could just do that, not try to paint this picture, like I think media does that nowadays. Social media makes you okay, pull up, I'm pulling up in a Lambo and this and that. A lot of these rappers are doing that to flex and to most of this are private rentals. So my thing is
How much do you have in your bank account?
correct, and
How much do you have that's paid off? And
Ramsey actually posted that today, and I was like, yeah, that's my type of stuff. But you gotta present it to people in a way that they're like Marcus, he's so open to it, and I love it because of the way he thinks now. Like from the jump, I was like, man, get a house that you can buy and flip. You can do that a few times. Like my position, I bought a house when I was 20 or 21, and it was a big house, but it had so much potential. So now, man, I put between the last few years, man, I put probably 30,000 into it. I bought granite countertops, new flooring, just a lot of things I did to it, and right
now it
now it's worth
probably
like 195. So I bought it for 130, no 141, and now it's worth 195. And I put 30
so
into say
you
30,
got a good profit coming out of it.
correct. And so now when I sell, and I'm making 20, 30 grand profit just because of the moves I was
Yeah.
making. But
My grandpa has done that so many
and he's
times.
paid off, and his house is all paid off.
Yeah.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying, man. You get advice from guys like that.
Wait, to do that though, did you do all that stuff yourself, or you paid somebody to do all the inside
No, I
stuff?
do all that. Oh no, no, not the granite. The flooring I did. The granite,
That's why it's good. I wish I had knew more things like that, like to just redo rooms. And
yeah,
I mean I could paint and whatnot, but like doing molding and
yeah,
just
and all that stuff's simple, man. Even
yeah, I've done it in the trailer. So I mean, I can do it,
yeah,
but that's what you really would need to do if you were to flip houses and whatnot.
mhm,
Like, you have to do most of that work yourself
to
to
make
keep
the
that
profit.
keep that profit in your pocket,
Correct.
not give it away.
And that's definitely like between my wife, she's big on saving too. So like it just
Me and Cheyenne are going to combine our bank accounts this week.
come on,
We
man.
was having
Oh
this
snap!
conversation
Oh
before
snap!
because
So it's
like,
getting.
well, we went and looked at rings and like purchased the ring, just
Oh
waiting on it to
wow,
come in. So that's gonna be coming down the
that's
road.
awesome,
So we're
bro.
kind of just planning
Yeah,
everything. We
man.
got to start looking towards the future.
Definitely, man. Especially y'all been together so long. I think you gotta definitely just like I talked to her, like I've been when he had her working on, and I talked to her, and she's so supportive of you, and you don't find that too often. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
that's
Because
why I'm not
most,
going nowhere.
yeah, like you don't find that often, bro. Like most people, like I've had exes that literally told me I envy you because everything you say you're gonna do, you do it. And when those words cut, bro, when them words, when somebody was supposed to love me and they told me that, and those words cut me, and I was like, man, like,
Should be happy
you know
for
what I'm
me.
saying? Yeah, because you're a man, so like, if you say you're gonna do it and you do it, you would think your spouse and person would be like, man, like I'm thankful, like we're both winning, but people see it differently, and with who I'm with now, she's understanding and like she's big on saving too. So like
That helps out a lot.
bro, like I'll tell you, like we're set up. Like I think within the next 5 years, we'd probably be debt free with a house. Like we'll not have no house note.
Damn, that's
We literally
awesome,
could
man.
do that,
That's
but
awesome.
it takes discipline. It takes
Beans and rice.
simple.
Beans and rice,
Yeah,
like
that
damn
too. We
Ramses.
don't go eat out much either way, but just a simple life. And like I tell her, like she has her own business, so she actually does graphic design or different stuff.
Really?
So yeah,
No, that's good to know.
yeah, that's what I was actually gonna tell you earlier when you were talking about that. Her, uh, about the logo and all. She actually makes logos. So our logo, she customized it a lot,
Oh, that's badass.
but I wanted it something simple. So she could have done something crazy, and I was like, no, because we're simple guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we add too much, it might just be too much. So I was
Well,
like,
whenever, because I'm gonna rebrand,
okay,
but from the Life Never Ends thing, I don't know into what yet.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to get with her
yeah,
because
bro,
that's
give
my
it
big.
a.
I made
Oh wow,
all
wow,
everything that I've ever
Yeah.
put out there has all been like me. I've never
Yeah.
went out and
Oh
asked
wow.
anybody for anything.
That's rough. Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole
So
different.
I've learned everything, which is good. So
Yeah.
like now I could have input going into it. Like, yeah, do this maybe,
Yeah.
tweak this or whatnot.
I think.
Like I've never sent a song to anybody to like mix or anything. I've recorded everything myself
Oh wow. That's awesome,
in
man.
my freaking bedroom.
Yeah. She's like videography wise, she's not big on that. So that was where when like I used the software, she really couldn't help me as much like because the Adobe software, I don't know if you ever used it.
No,
Adobe Premiere.
I bought something on. It was like
Gotcha.
$30 cheap.
But no, like this is complicated.
Well, that's the
Like
same thing with the music thing that I complicated as hell.
yeah, yeah, like you have to mess with it. So like this coming like pretty soon, I'm gonna just spend time and mess with it, look stuff up and learn and learn and learn. Because there's certain things like the YouTube, I want to add like at the end, I want to add like something that pops up and subscribe, so that you hit
Yeah,
that, and so like stuff like that. I want to learn. I can't learn it from her, but she can help me on the graphic design side if I want to do a logo, if I want to do,
yeah,
so like it all kind of it works out pretty well. But she actually she makes logos pretty often. She does. I mean, she has her own business, but she's a manager at
that's
another place,
badass.
so she's kind of we don't. I mean, we spend a good bit of time together, but most of the time, we're pretty tired. Just how it is. You work all day, wake up at 4.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because Cheyenne, she's a server right now while she's going through college. So I mean, she don't get home sometimes till 10,
oh
11, later
yeah,
than that sometimes. So that by that time I'm already
yeah, you sleeping.
crashed out. So we
Yeah.
don't no shit, don't get to spend a lot of time together really. But we just taking care of what we got to take care of, and
And that's why I think, man, if it, man, I hope you do another money one soon. But I'd love to talk about that. Dude. That's a huge topic in my life, especially because I feel like knowing where I come from, and man,
you
I
got to be
remember,
smart with
dude,
your
I
money.
remember like we would go to Dustin's house, bro, and we'd all have a few dollars and all pitch in to buy beer at well, I ain't gonna name the
Oh,
place, but
that's messed up. We spent our last money
or a
on
little
beer
boy had $2 and
or weed or something.
yeah,
Oh,
so like to me it's like man, like knowing that we come from like man, I know my parents didn't have nothing, so to me it's like sharing that with people now that if people are in the position we were, man, you can move up to this spot and be debt free or be in this good position where whatever, but it takes discipline. It takes you having a partner that understands. Like I know guys, man, that have an old lady that likes to blow money. And to me, like, for one, if she's doing that and you okay with it, that says a lot
that's the
about
problem.
yeah, that I already know what's up. Like you're not putting your foot down saying, hey, like chill out with that. Like it's one thing to need something and
Especially if you're married and
yeah.
whatnot.
Oh man, it ruins it. I done seen it ruin so much. And to me it's like which I get, man. Like to me, I try to get my wife to spend money, but she's like, nah, I
Like,
don't
what do
need
we
anything.
need? Yeah,
Yeah,
what do we
like you
need?
really, if you simple, you really don't need, unless it's an investment. Like when I bought this chain, man, I was just like, one, I can resell this thing. It's not like a car. You pay for a new car, you drive off the lot, you lose what 5 G's a new
Yeah,
car off the top.
30% of
Correct.
whatever the price is
So
probably.
with this gold, if anybody knows about gold, gold doesn't lose a value.
Yeah.
Same thing with a house. You buy a house for like or a trailer. The trailer depreciates like that. You buy a house, it just constantly it's gonna keep its value as long as you
Right.
keep up with it.
The market is gonna up and down,
Correct.
but as long as you invest into that house and whatnot, it's gonna hold its value. When you want to sell, whenever the time's right, you'll get whatever you put into it.
And school
At
don't teach you
least,
that. Yeah, and
yeah,
school don't teach you.
you at
That's the sad part.
you at least get what you put into it.
Yeah. And that's my thing. I think that would be a good podcast to talk about because sadly some people like credit. People don't know, man. The only reason I bought my house at such an early age was because of my brother. Because he told me, hey man, I think it was my 18th birthday. He said, hey man, we need to build your credit. So he brought me, and I bought a TV at Aaron's, little flat screen TV. It wasn't nothing,
I
But
bought a mattress as my first.
come on,
I put $1,000. I gave the bank $1,000, and they gave me $1,000.
it's
That's
like
how I did
CD
it.
loan.
No, it was I don't know how they call it. It's like the bank won't really give you money if you don't have any credit. So you have to
Correct.
give them
Oh,
1,000, and then they'll give you right back 1,000.
yeah. I forgot what that's called. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You got to front the money up
Yeah.
so they don't lose
So
technically.
technically, you could just put that money in an account and do auto draft. So every month that you're literally just paying back plus a few bucks in interest, just auto draft it. And you ain't even gonna do anything, and it build your credit at a young age.
Yeah. And
But
that's another thing, man. Just teaching young kids about that. If you can
and
do that,
especially us, we're like poor, basically.
yeah.
We have to have credit. Like people that are rich, they don't really even need credit because
Mhm.
they have so much money in the bank. They could be like, well, you see what I have in the bank account. So they'll just give people loans.
Correct.
For us to get a loan, we have to have some type of credit
Yeah.
history.
Correct.
That's the biggest thing is credit history. Like you have to have years of paying
Yeah.
on stuff.
They won't even mess with you for real. Like that's how it is, man. And I wish more people would teach about that, and it'd be so like people are 30, 40 years old and then like, all my credit's messed up. And now they want to work on it. Man, you done 40, 50
Yeah.
years old and
It sucks that it took us to figure that out on our own, and our parents weren't able to teach us that.
yeah,
But
my
we
parents.
would we had that initiative to go out and figure out finances and whatnot. And I mean, it's not something we figured out, but learning about.
Yeah.
We had that initiative to go because we came from shit.
Yeah. So I mean, if we want to stay in it, we can, but that's
Yeah,
not.
don't want to.
No, that's and I think, man, just sharing that too is gonna be pretty cool because see people, man, look, dude, I remember you saying that on a podcast. So I went by this and my credit shot up, whatever, just it's cool. You inspire people and you know,
It's gonna be crazy to see where we at in a few
yeah.
years if we
Oh, I'm psyched.
keep on going with what we got going on and see where it's gonna grow into. And hopefully, I'm gonna keep bringing on other people I don't know if you know Hunter Olden
Yeah,
that
Hunter.
started a YouTube channel and whatnot. I'm bringing him on eventually.
He was our actually we made Hunter together. He was
They
actually
did,
on our one of our videos. Forgot what video it was, but yeah, he came with us.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Like, people like ask me like, "Oh man, you got competition?" I said, "No, man. Like, we went together. Like,
right.
you know." So like inspiring people like that. That to me is
Yeah.
like,
I just want to keep bringing on people like this
mhm,
that are doing something really.
yeah,
Talk
stepping out.
about it, like, cause so if you're my third interview so far, and I just want to diverse. I want to have a whole bunch of different people. Like the other two people were artists that made music. I got some other people that lined up for music and whatnot, but I want to just diverse and have a bunch of different people on,
Yeah,
talk about bunch of different.
it's crazy how powerful music is,
Oh, it
bro.
is.
Like I know probably a lot of people don't know this, but the devil was actually like one of the ones that managed music.
Hmm.
So if you think about it, like as for like that was his job. So now that his tool was
Because it's
music
so
from the jump,
persuasive.
now like man, you giving these people the just this is the real world. This is I'm sitting here doing this. I'm gonna shoot whatever some of these rappers do. These guys are living it out. And some of them are
Well,
legit gangsters. Don't get me
it's
wrong.
sport, and it's a lot of devil worshiping shit
Correct.
that's going on.
And man, once you get involved with that, bro, like witchcraft, like a lot of people don't know, man. It's legit. So like, man, when you get involved with that, try getting out of that. I can promise you not. Like, unless God, you really find Jesus, bro. Man, I know people that like, because in our culture, it's big. Witchcraft is just
It's right there in front of our faces.
okay.
A lot of people are just so blind to everything that's
Yeah,
going on. Like they put it out there in front of you to see. Like I don't Lil Nas X. You ever heard of Old Town Road?
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Well, he went and after that song blew up, he went and signed a record deal. And like the stuff that he's been putting out since he signed that record deal has been just nothing but he came out that he was gay. Um, and now all the music videos that he has and whatnot is all devil worshiping.
that just lost. And I mean, I
That's the
remember.
agenda that they're trying to
Yeah.
push.
And sadly, some people gonna fall for it. Like it's cool. Like my thing is, you want to live like that, cool, but you gotta realize it comes with a price. Like
You have to
when you
answer for
can't
this.
sleep at night, when you have no peace at all, you're gonna understand. Like I personally dealt with some demonic things, man. Like I went to a retreat. I watched my brother, my dad, and me personally fall on my face, and demons get cast out of our bodies like that. And I'm telling you, like yeah, I say that, but we had foam, just all this. And if anybody knows my pops, this dude is not a soft dude. This dude grew up on the border, so these dudes gangsters. Like these dudes like kill people like for. I mean, they did it. As far as like the way they lived. Just so there's no type of sympathy for anything. So for that happened to my dad, um, and him after that say, man, this is the realest thing I ever experienced in my life. Like nothing has, he ran the streets since he was 8 years old without parents, just and if anybody knows the border, the amount of drugs, the cartel, all that is just so destructive and influences those young kids. And when my dad fell on his face, he had just got out of prison. He fell on his face, and the demon was getting casted out, bro. Like at that point, I knew, man, like this Jesus walk is not just this little, oh, I'm gonna be good and make good choices, but it's deeper. It's a spiritual thing that, man,
Yeah.
like I can really get possessed in one day and go do something crazy, go murder somebody just because I
It's
allowed,
deep down into your
yeah,
soul, man.
and so I mean, it's so deep, man. But like a lot of people, like I guess not everybody's really seen the evil side of the world, so they only see, um, I guess,
Black and white, really.
yeah, and you know what I'm saying? They really don't know how bad it is out here. Like, and even in Houma, man, people don't realize, like, and it's bad. Like, I can promise you, if you ride around late at night, and you're actually open, alert, most people are just stuck, so they don't really live. They don't live in the moment. They're just kind of floating.
Floating,
Yeah,
yeah.
literally not, caring. So they're really ignorant to what's going on. But between the prostitution, the shootings, the gang, just all the craziness is out there. So if people want to live for the devil, live for him. Like one atheist guy said, I don't know, I shouldn't have said this, but it was kind of wrong on my part. But he said, "Oh, I don't believe in God." I said, "Look, okay, cool. You don't believe in God? It's cool. You don't have to, bro. Whatever. Okay, but if God ain't real, and that means the devil's not real, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "All right, we'll go do witchcraft and come talk to me after. And if it don't work, if the witchcraft don't work, obviously it's not real, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I have to check, I have to see about that." I said, "Well, why would you be worried about doing it if you don't believe in it?" And he knew, like, dog, I'm
Yeah,
not,
you messed up right
no, you already
there.
know, like, you already know this stuff is real. You just don't want to accept, you don't want to have to answer to anybody. You
There's
want to be your own God. And then in the day, a man has to be able to be teachable and has to be able to be, um, answer to somebody. And that's why to God, sometimes I mess up and I have to answer to God and say, God, look, forgive me for this, whatever. But I'm not no atheist that's, I'm gonna just live how I want and this and that. And nah, dog, like if you atheist, go try witchcraft. Go do some voodoo, go do some crazy stuff, witchcraft. And if it don't work, then you can say, okay, God's not real. But until you've done the witchcraft, you won't. I'm telling you, like, I know, because my fam,
yeah.
like my grandma, I mean, I say my grandpa, a lot of my family, in our culture is big, and down here too, because of the voodoo and a lot of the culture down here. There's a lot of witchcraft. You go to New Orleans, you see it. Got so much witchcraft over there. But even the guys that do witchcraft know that God's real. So if you ask, like, I remember ran into one guy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I know y'all God. I know Jesus. I know." But he was worshiping Satan. He said, "I know who he is." So like,
He's just
he
on the other side.
correct, and he accepted, which is whatever. I respect it, but don't
Wow.
say God's not real when even the devil worshippers know he is. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's, to me, it's like, you know,
That's deep.
yeah, it really
That's
is.
really deep. I mean, there's definitely a higher power in this world. 100%. I might not um worship him like I should, but he's always on the back of my mind. Like I know there's somebody that I have to
Oh, we
to
one day,
attempt to please.
yeah, bro. One day we all gonna have to answer to God, and
Yeah, and like the times that you've seen me in church, you've seen me there.
yeah,
Uh, and it was never because it was more or less that I was going trying to help others in my family that I was going. Like because it was to the point where I didn't see any other way but to go to God and do that. And I don't know. The reason I would tell you the reason that I stopped going really, and it probably shouldn't be a reason,
Yeah.
but I guess because I did see that like this woman one time when we went and she was worshiping and whatnot, just the way that she was sitting there screaming on the ground, like it
Mhm.
was demonic.
Yeah.
But it might have been that it was the demonic coming out of her.
Correct.
That's what kind of scared me away. And
Yeah.
after I walked out that day, I'm like, I ain't going back.
Yeah. Oh no, they
It
got some.
scared the shit out of me,
Hey, they
man.
got some crazy stuff, bro. Like when you
Like I felt like that was worshiping the devil almost. The way that
oh,
she,
it could have been, bro.
I
Like
don't know.
I mean, the devil hides everywhere. So like when people go to a church and look, you're gonna find broken people. I know when I go in there and like I can't expect these people to walk in the spirit all the time because I don't. I mean, I'll be honest, like I don't walk this perfect righteous life, but I know that sometimes people in there are possessed. I mean, I'll be completely honest, but there's more people possessed in the world than in the church, for
Right.
sure. So
There's always a devil in the church.
correct. I've pulled up, bro, to people and like this one guy. I remember he was in a white car. Um, and I pull up and I look over, bro. When I seen him, as soon as I seen his eyes, I knew it was a demon. Like I knew, and like pretty much this is he's driving. We had the red light. This dude's whole neck is like turned like over, like isn't he just
That's
big
meth.
old when I well maybe two, but no, when I tell you this eyes were about this big, bro. And I knew because of the way like I've seen a lot of people. So like I've been on the streets to do ministry and stuff. But when you just know when that spirit, that devil, that demonic spirit's there, just I don't know, it's weird, because even some people I look at homeless people, I'll literally feel their pain. So I'm driving by, and not often, but I'll drive by and I see a homeless guy, and I'll look at them and I feel their pain. Some people I'll pass by homeless, same thing, homeless, don't feel a thing. Certain people I just connect to where man, I feel their pain, and it's like
You
man,
feel that
hey
energy
bro, when I
coming
tell
off of
you,
them.
you'll feel like I'll
Well, because
start
there's
tearing up.
some people that was self-inflicted.
Correct.
They did it to
Mhm.
themselves. But then there's some people that just had the wrong side of the hand that was
Correct.
dealt, and
And that's what I mean. Like people that self-inflict, like a lot of people now, our culture. Oh man, I'm going through the struggle. This and that. No, you like dope.
yeah,
Oh, I'm going through the struggle. No, you like sleeping around. Like
you're putting
you,
yourself in the
correct,
struggle.
correct. So like to me, for me to feel pity or like have sympathy,
Self-inflicted
yeah,
wounds.
I don't
I
really,
talk about that in my music a lot.
Oh,
Self-inflicted
I like
wounds.
that. Okay, yeah, because I actually like say that often. To me, I don't because like I said, I've done stuff that inflicted myself. So like for me to be like, oh man, I
Blame it
went
on
through this.
something else.
No,
This
bro,
and
I,
that.
I did, I have to man up and say I did this. But there's certain things in my life I had no control over. So at that point, those things are painful and those things are
Or making you to the man that you are today.
correct.
Those things that you couldn't control.
Correct. Because a lot of things, especially as a child, bro, when you go through things as a child, man, it determines not determines your future, but it really has a big impact. I think that's why like when they say a kid can learn a lot at a certain age, at a young age, I feel like that's why because they, if you destroy a kid at a young age, meaning like oh you're nothing or this, he's gonna believe the rest of his life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Unless
Your
God really
heart.
takes a so that's why like
I talked
man,
about this the other day. That like to say we go throughout our lives and it comes to the end and like we're reincarnated or whatever.
mhm.
Is that how that's did I say that right? Reincarnate reincarnation.
Like when people believe that they become somebody else or like
Yeah. What we was talking about on the podcast the other day is like what if you was dealt this hand in life and then you go throughout life and you do what you do with that life. What if the next life is like, well, you come back and you're dealt a different hand to see how you come out on the end with that hand. Like just to say like the hand that you're dealt
mhm,
determines a lot of what you go through life.
correct.
I don't know, it's just a big thing. Like
Yeah, I mean,
you got to do what you're do what you can with the hand that you're dealt, and that's what we're doing. We're doing
Correct.
what we can with what we was dealt with.
Correct. I agree, bro. I would definitely have to agree with that because a lot of people I actually posted that recently on Facebook because people look at a lot of people like with me when I was younger. I remember I dated certain girls, and it got back to me that oh man, he's gonna be a criminal like his dad. Oh, he's gonna be this. Oh, he's a this and that. Certain moms split me in their because of that because I just gave off this either from being Mexican or just different things, But they put you in, they paint this picture and assume you're gonna be like this, but they gotta realize I was dealt some cards that
Not many people are.
no. So like for me, like why are you gonna? And that's my biggest saying: don't judge a person you never helped. So I will never judge you on okay if you're struggling with crack cocaine. Let's just go straight extreme, and I'm like, oh look at Alan, he's a crackhead, this and that. But I never did nothing to help you for you to get better. I feel like that's so wrong. Like to me, it's like if I'm a judge of money, which
Now,
there's
now,
a
but
right,
it's different if you sat there and helped me,
and then
tried to help me, and I'm
yeah,
still turning around and going back and doing the same thing, self inflicted.
correct,
Then
bro.
it's like that motherfucker,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
crackhead.
that's what I'm saying. So people ride around, oh, he's a crackhead. You don't know that man's story. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what he's been through. And like you said, some might be self inflicted, but some people, bro, just everything they got handed to, like you said, was pretty much destined for them to be destructive, to be evil, to
The odds were against them
and
from the
every.
from the jump.
So to me, I would never look at a man and say, oh, he's gonna be, like kind of like they assumed of, of me at one point, Um, I will look deeper and say, man, why are you like that? I got this one guy on the east side, homeless guy, and at that point, like one day I'll go up to him. I said, man, get up. I said, get up, stand up. He's like, like he said, oh, because he seen me in my black truck. It's like, man, you got a nice truck. You won't understand my life. I said, man, you know what? I said, man, if you look, if you know a dude named Elude, and he said, yeah, I know Elude. He said he sleeps on these streets sometimes. That's my brother. We grew up in the same house, same broken home, same group, same everything. I made different choices. He's out here on these streets, and you know him. You judged me, and you said I would never understand you, and you don't, and you have no clue. And like when he knew that,
Dang.
like bro, it hit him like it struck him. I said, get up. I said, man, find you a job, bro. Do good for yourself. He like dope, and he told me that. He's like, man, I try to stay clean. I lose jobs because of it. I said, well, see, you're inflicting that on yourself, man. Try to find people that will help you. He said, yeah, people do help me. I just mess up. I said, I get it, man. I said, it's a struggle out here. We all have things we battle. But don't judge me from what you see from my truck, from the way I carry
Yeah.
myself, because you don't even know half of what I've been through. So to
You don't know
him,
what it took to get that.
correct, bro. And a lot of people see
that
the results, but never see what you had to go to get there. You know what I'm saying? So like never judge, somebody
yeah.
just for
Speaking of elude, that's how you say his name.
elude. Yeah,
Yeah, they gotta. I hate to bring up bad shit
yeah,
about him,
yeah,
but I don't even want to say it. But I'm gonna say it. At any time, fitness, there's a picture of him
yeah.
on the inside. Don't let this man in.
Oh yeah, because he probably walks around there. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. I mean, like I said, bro,
I seen
it's
that like
yeah.
literally
He
a few
actually,
days ago.
yeah, he's stayed around there for a while, just running the streets. And but like I said, bro, we all made choices,
Different
and
choices. Choice. That comes down to
I love my
choices at the
brother,
end of
man.
it.
Like and like he knows, like man, I'll kill for you any day. Like I told him, I said, man, I'm quick to send somebody to hell for you, but at the same time, bro, like you got to make the right choices, and it's just we've been through things, man, like and stuff we would never talked about, like person. I mean, me and you, or I haven't talked about really anybody, that we've been through things in our childhood that most people, man, it wouldn't be here, So people see him and they're like, oh man, what's wrong with him? Bro, like if you would know that man's story, I can promise you, you would shed every tear you could shed that same night. And he knows that. So when I approach him and I let him know, like, bro, we grew up in the same house. We, everything we had the same.
And I
When
mean, you
you
got another brother that's doing just as
yeah,
good
yeah,
as
yeah,
you.
and that's what I'm saying. But you gotta see, man, like it's a spiritual thing, and that's why it's so big. It's a spiritual thing that we're battling the spirits. We're not battling, each other because at the end of the day, it's a spiritual thing that he has on
That we
him.
can't even see going
Correct.
on.
And that's why I'm so big on God. I feel like, I know for a fact if it wasn't for God in my life, when that happened, that change happened, I'd probably be dead. Because at that point I had to take care of my little brother and I had to take care of my mom. My dad was locked up. So I had to take care of both of them. So man, like the hustle just oh my God, like it just blew up. Like at that point I wouldn't sleep. Hustle, hustle, made money, make money. Bought my house at 20. I was just hustling. Did what I had to do. Took care and brought them in, took care of them.
Got them into a spiritual world, right?
Do
Like
what?
you're the one that got them into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spiritual
All my
world.
family, yeah, yeah. But also like, no, they actually moved in my house and all.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. So like, he was locked
So
up.
they don't stay on where
Eric,
they
oh
used to. No,
no.
that's been
Yeah, that's
long
weird.
gone.
Yeah.
Dang.
We actually got evicted out of there. But it was just kind of it happened because it was a last minute thing. I didn't even know about it until like we were like,
Living on the
hey,
street.
you're out. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
yeah. I mean people like I said, bro, it's people just don't know like because you don't just put it out there. People like we don't talk about it, but people see the big picture, man. You know, and I was the first one in my family to find God, honestly. But I know for a fact if it wasn't for my mom and my brother and for that, man, I'm retarded. So like you can ask God and Lord, like man, people pull out guns. Man, I'm smiling like I'm retarded. Like I don't care, like it just don't. But now that I will have a kid, I'm excited because it's gonna make me
Level up even more.
consider that and just motivate me more. But
It's
I'm
correct.
just like
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, man.
the
I can see little Luis running
the
around.
it's a little girl, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I told Marcus, I was like, man, she's probably gonna soften me up, which is good,
Oh,
which is good. That's what we
it's
need.
gonna help
So,
with the softening. Well, man, we're at the 2 hour mark. I don't
yeah,
even feel like we've been
I
talking for
know,
two
bro.
hours.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we definitely have to do this again one day.
Yeah, bro. Whatever you want to talk about. I mean, I love, even though it would be a hun podcast. I mean, we could talk whatever. Like you said, I like that you're gonna be doing different ones. Like
Yeah,
doing, I think even like a money. I mean, we can do it on this regular one though, but do about money. Like as far as like, okay, break it down because I think, I mean, it's such a broad topic. Money is like, between debt, how to save money, looking at the big picture, insurance, because insurance is actually big too. Like,
what I like about it is doing these podcasts and whatnot. Like I don't just go in blindly to them.
uh,
It makes me research and do stuff like that. So it's like I'm learning
gotcha.
to go and do it.
Uh,
So it just helps out so much more.
Yeah, yeah, bro. We all we doing is growing.
Yeah,
But man, you check out Brian T. Man, he's big on that. He's just big on growing because I think, yeah,
Brian T.
yeah, from a spiritual side, but to just all day, every day. Like you stay, man, you learning. I can promise you, bro. The sky's the limit, man. And people see us now, and in another 5 years, it's gonna be a different story. And I know it. I know. Like I don't doubt myself. I don't doubt you.
Yeah.
And I just try to hang around with people that motivate me. Like, because if I'm hanging out with people that just, nah, bro.
Are
Like,
satisfied in the life that
yeah,
they
you
have.
gotta move. You gotta move different for sure.
I mean, that's cool if you're satisfied with what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got going on. I mean,
There's nothing
is
wrong with that. No, no, no. I wouldn't.
I just I don't like getting too comfortable.
Yeah. And my goal is like helping people. So like I know what I've been through. So like my wife knows,
That's
and
why I'm bringing you on this podcast because
yeah,
I'm trying to even help you.
yeah, yeah. And it means a lot, bro. But like my wife knows, bro. Like I'm big on helping people. So I'm a giver. At the end of the day, I can make. I don't care how much money I make. I'm a give. Like that's just my nature. I love giving. So I just can't. I'm excited like to help people between the hun, everything, music, yeah, anything, whatever. We're just here to help. At the end of the day, that's what matters. I think.
Yep. Well, this was a great conversation, man. It was good
Yeah,
catching up
bro,
with
for
you.
sure, man. I know.
Definitely gonna have to get some runs in soon.
And chop it up again too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well, if you're still listening to this 2 hours in, make sure y'all go subscribe to Luis's channel,
Yeah, yo, check us out.
Public Land Mafia. Uh, y'all subscribe to my shit too. So
Yeah, hit up Alan there, man.
yeah, well, Peace out, people.
Y'all be cool.
Thanks for listening, man. Voila.
We out.